Can you answer a question for me?
Yeah.
What is Zaddy?
A zaddy is like it's like a level above daddy. Like it's like a
Remind me, Zaddy
it's
is
an
like next
older
level.
daddy.
Excuse me? Excuse me? That's not Zaddy. Zaddy is not the Z is not for there's nothing about old that starts with the letter Z.
What took you so long?
Don't adjust your settings. You tuned into Gamer Zaddies, a Metal Gear Resurrections podcast, hosted by Johnny, Adam, and Elliot. Now sit back and relax while we discuss gaming, film, TV, pop culture, and whatever else comes through our crazy Zaddy minds.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Gamer Zaddies. That is because it is our game of the year for 2025. I was going to say 2026. It is 2026. We're talking about 2025. I am joined, as always, by Johnny
Yo.
and, of course, Adam.
I
So before we get into Game of the Year and all that stuff, how's it going? How was everyone's Christmas, New Year's,
well,
winter
I mean,
festivities?
I just sneezed, so I've got that going for me.
Yeah. I
Um,
was gonna say ear infections suck
Yeah.
yeah, Johnny's got a lot
Yeah.
going on.
and allergies.
I don't know, like Christmas was quiet.
Yeah.
We went down and saw Carrie's family down there, and we were there most of the day. New Year's, incredibly uneventful. We played Cards Against Humanity for like 2 fucking hours because we had two different sets of teens in this house, like two different sets of couples, teens in this house. Made my mother-in-law say a bunch of heinous shit like pixelated bukkake. There's also a card in there. I can't recall exactly which one, but it is a Pac-Man full of jizz. So she
Mm.
kind of like laughed her way through all of them, and we had to make her repeat them because she was laughing too much. We couldn't actually even understand what she was saying. So that's fun. My mother-in-law is not a vulgar woman by any means, so it was a nice bit of torture, I think, that the kids laid on her.
Nice.
And then right when the balls dropped, so did mine, and we went to bed.
Oh, yeah,
How about y'all?
mine was just a lot of sickness coming through. My wife had a couple rounds of whatever was going on. In true teacher fashion, I had it for about 4 hours one night. I felt like shit, and then the next day I felt fine. So it's like my wife and daughter have been sick most of the break, and I've just been trucking along. So that means that a lot of the parenting and stuff like that has fallen to me. So
Sure.
ready to get back into some routine, things like that. For me, we're recording this on the third. School starts back up not till the sixth, so I got a couple more days. But yeah,
5 more months till your
Lucky.
birthday.
yeah, exactly, exactly 5 months to my birthday. Look at you.
Ooh.
Five,
Um. Yeah. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
5 months until I'm squarely in my mid 30s. I will be 35 then.
Oh
Gross.
wow.
Is this a baby?
I'm just a little baby.
Just wait till you hit
Johnny,
40.
how's your holiday break been? It sounds like not
Yeah.
great.
It first started with flu A going rampant in this house. Then on Christmas, we all just devoured trays of lasagna. Uh, Going towards New Year's, allergies, ear infections. Uh, Fell asleep before the ball dropped because I got drunk. I drank a whole bottle of wine like around 10 p.m. So I was like, I'm not surviving this. And that's pretty much it. It's been like very quiet, not very holiday-ish. Like it just felt like
Yeah, I
another
feel you.
day, a couple of days.
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything much other than like, watching the little kid unwrap gifts and stuff. And it was like, well, that's it, I guess. Like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny, you and I's daughters are pretty much the same age. It is a very fun age for like
Hmm.
Christmas and presents and all that stuff. They very much get it and they're excited. My daughter was like very excited like to give gifts too, which I
Hmm.
thought was pretty cool.
Oh,
We've done a thing in the last couple of years where anytime it's Christmas, someone's birthday, we go to, I don't know if they have them out by you. There's a store called Five Below
yes,
here. Okay, so I don't know if that's
I
nationwide.
know.
So Five Below, where everything's supposed to be below $5, but now it's not.
No.
But so anytime it's someone's birthday or Christmas or whatever, we go to Five Below, and then she picks
Yep.
things out for stuff. So she's at like the edge of the age where it's like very cute. Like she got my mom like a set of like slime, and they did like the slime, like made the slime together, and it's like, oh, that's cute. But like once she's like 10, she won't be able to like pull that shit off. So it's very cute. It's very, very fun, like Christmas
Mm.
time around here for sure.
I
We're
mean,
not like
you
Christmas
have it.
people in this house
Oh,
anyways, but
okay.
like having teens definitely kind of makes it even worse because it's like just I here's money.
Yeah.
Cash or gift cards usually.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like we
we're
basically
teens,
did all of our Christmas shopping pretty much online the Saturday before Christmas.
Makes it easy.
as it was
Yeah.
intended. Yeah, no. My daughter got like the Barbie like jet, and we opened it up, and she started playing with it, and immediately said, "I thought it'd be bigger. The thing's fucking huge. She can't barely pick it up." I was like, "You are so selfish and spoiled."
That's
She
funny.
was looking for Barbie Force One.
My daughter
Probably.
my daughter got the Bluey jet, so she was really digging that. She has so much. She has like the Bluey
Mm.
house, the Bluey jet, and then she
Oh,
also got the Bluey like RV because there's one episode that they're in like an RV. So she's like, she has. We counted the figurines like the same style of figurine of Bluey. She has
mm.
eight of like the character Bluey from all the different
Damn.
sets she's had. So she can do like an army of Blueys when she's like doing her little
I
role
was gonna say
playing thing.
it's like that at my house, but it's all Barbie. Barbie jet, the Barbie beach house, Barbie Jeep, Barbie RV, fucking Barbie Corvette, just Barbie dolls everywhere, most of them all naked. So she also got like outfits to put them in the pool, like swimsuits. And I was like, I'm tired of seeing like naked dolls running around in this fucking room here. I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, you gotta clothe these people. It's like it's not the fucking Playboy Mansion over here, right?
You guys only buy your kids one plane.
Just one. No
That's
no
probably for the
sec.
best.
Yeah. No two planes. One
No second
plane.
plane hitting Christmas.
The
No
second
towers.
the second plane hit the Barbie tower.
Fuck. Jesus Christ. We'd have to combine them, the Barbie plane and the Bluey plane.
They both double team the tower, one top, one bottom.
Jesus Christ. Bluey planes do melt steel beams, actually. It's a known fact. All right, shall we? We're gonna have a lot of talking to do, so we should just jump right in. Like
Yep.
I said at the top, this is our game of the year. We did though, basically the exact same format last year, but that was still when it was Metal Gear Mondays, right? That wasn't Gamer Zaddies yet. I don't know.
Correct.
Time flies. So this is Gamer Zaddies' first game of the year.
Yes.
The way we're going to do this is if you listen to other video game podcasts, you might have heard this format. I don't even know who originated it, stole it from a couple different ones. But the idea is there's definitely going to be some overlap on our lists. So
Yeah.
if someone, like for example, if I said the greatest game of all time, Mind's Eye was my number 10, but Johnny had it at his number 3 and Adam had it as his number 2, then both of them would say, I have that wonderful, wonderful game from Leslie Benzies higher, and then we wouldn't talk about it until then. Save a little bit of time so we're not kind of retreading the same stuff. Only exception to that is we're going to do at the top, starting off here, we're each going to do two honorable mentions. Could be our 11 and 12 on our list, not mine personally. I picked two games for two different reasons. And even if my game were to be on someone else's list, I'll just talk about it briefly why I picked that with the honorable mentions. So, any other thoughts or anything like that before we jump right in with my first honorable mention?
Nope. I say let's fucking go.
All right, here we go. All right, so my first honorable mention is Mario Kart World. And the reason that I picked Mario Kart World for my honorable mention is it's not the entire game. The entire game, as a lot of people have said, is kind of a letdown. Open world, Not
Yeah.
much to do. The regular racing, even though there's 24 racers, that's fun. But again, it's Mario Kart racing. Nothing, I didn't get into the grinding or the wall riding that much. But why I included it in the honorable mention is the knockout tour mode of Mario Kart World is one of the funnest, most fun modes of any multiplayer game that I've played in a long, long time. For
Sure.
those of you that don't know, it's kind of like a battle royale, 24 racers. Every so often you go through a gate and then four players get knocked out. And then eventually you go and you try to get as high as possible. Um,
That's
when
what Johnny does most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
when Adam and his family were over for my daughter's birthday in September, we played the shit out of Knockout Tour.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even think we touched any other modes.
Not
Um,
really.
that is the only online game mode that I've played by myself, maybe in years. I played quite a bit of just the knockout tour. Very fun to like fight. And it's like, I know I'm not going to get in first place. Like these fucking people are way too good. But if I can get in the top half, that felt really good in the online knockout tour mode. And I feel like I will continue to play, especially the knockout tour mode as my daughter gets older. Um, Things like that for years to come. So if the rest of Mario Kart World was as good as Knockout Tour, it would have absolutely been on my top 10 list, but that mode itself wasn't enough to carry in a incredible year. I'm just going to say that like very, very good. My top 10 games, all of them I absolutely love for different reasons. So
Sure.
maybe eventually Johnny will actually play it. I don't know. That would be
What's this? What are
Mario.
you talking about?
Did you
I
actually
did
play?
play Mario Kart World. Wait a
Okay.
minute. I was gonna say like it's not Elden Ring.
It's not Elden Ring. It's not what Hades 2. I know you have that game
I
too.
mean, yeah.
Um, but yeah, Mario Kart World, that is definitely like, as you know, one member of this podcast likes to say, there's no reason to get a Switch 2. Um,
Ouch.
that was like an early indication, like, oh, okay, like that shit would not run on a Switch 1. Like the 24 racers, all that stuff. Mario
Mm-mm.
Kart World does have a lot more going on under the hood, but it
Sure.
just outside of Knockout Tour, it just kind of fell to the wayside. All right, that's my first honorable mention. Johnny, what's your first?
Okay, my first honorable mention. I feel like it's gonna be like maybe a possible thing. It's Switch 2 related. It is Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
it is actually pretty good on the Switch 2 graphically. It's similar, not I would say comparable to maybe like um Xbox towards Xbox end. There's no lag, and the best part of it is that you could take it with you on the go, which actually end up doing a lot because being a dad, you go to a lot of like I have my daughter has a lot of like dance classes, other kids
Right.
activities. So you know what, bringing a Switch 2 while the kids are doing their own shit and every other parent is on their phone. I'm the only parent on a Switch 2 playing Hitman, headphones on because I don't want anybody to hear what I'm doing. um, especially as like got like 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds running around. But I played the on the original platform for both like Steam Deck and Xbox, and it runs the same similar to all of them. There's no loss, and it's also got me geared up for Bond basically because the same people are doing it for First Light, and I'm just like fucking it's like kind of preparing me, but hoping like Bond would be better. But for Hitman for on the go, I would say it's actually good. It's good for a handheld. I didn't dock it, so I don't know if there'd be a difference graphic wise, maybe like possibly sharper, but that's my mention
Would
for
expect so, yeah.
I think so, yeah. But it's good nonetheless.
Yeah, I think Switch 2, just a lot of, if I hadn't played a lot of the games, like I was really
Yeah,
intrigued by like Cyberpunk 2077, but I have that on Xbox. Like I
exactly.
don't need to rebuy it, but it's like, it's really cool that like now on the Switch family of consoles that they can actually, at least for the time being, have games that are, if they're not on par with
Hmm.
the PlayStation, Xbox, they're at least playable. Now, how long
Yeah.
will that last? Who knows?
It
But
Yeah, as I say, I was exactly what you're saying. Like, it's good for the people who've never played this game before, possibly if they were on like Nintendo only, or maybe they just don't have like the funds to get like a new system. They only, Switch is the only affordable one they have. So, if you have Switch 2 and you can get these games that we've already played before, it's good on that end.
Have you been playing like a specific mode, or are you just like playing through the story, or have you been doing like freelance or anything like that?
I've been doing story mostly, like kind of like replaying it over again. But like I was thinking about like trying to do like the celebrity shit because it's like the signature edition, so it's like their version of like having everything attached to it that other ones
Right.
would have.
All right.
I like it. Solid choice.
Yeah.
Well, my first honorable mention is going to be Elden Ring Night Rain. It's more Elden Ring, right? Like just with friends. And Gabe has like fucking demolished it really in so many ways. And I have not finished the last boss. No, I haven't finished the last boss, and we've got really close to finishing the DLC one. I know that he downed the first one. I mean, like it's cool, right? I think it's pretty neat, I guess, compared to what Dark Souls and Elden Ring is to actually be stuck in a class and not like try and freeway your kind of character or anything like that. I have almost exclusively played as Iron Eye, which for listeners that maybe haven't played Elden Ring Night Rain is an archer character. I like him. I mean, whenever I played WoW or anything like that, I was always the archer or hunter character, basically, or a rogue, I guess, depending on how you do your build. It's fine. Like I think his character specials are okay. There's just not a whole lot of reason for me to want to venture out. Like I didn't play all of Elden Ring as a mage. I started that new build, but in a game like this, like I was afraid that they'd be even more susceptible to damage, and you don't really want that when you have to be healed or picked up by your teammates and people are prone to leaving. I think when you have a good solid run of Night Rain, it is very comparable to anything that you would get out of completing a boss or anything like that in the standard game. So just a nice addition. And I mean, right, like it wasn't that premium price or anything like that. So they knew what this was. I wish there was more. That's maybe my only complaint. It's not necessarily the fact that I wish I had more time with it. I mean, I've played it off and on since it launched, but there's like it's pretty repetitive, and that's probably my only slight against it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I had a lot of fun playing with you and Gabe. If I numbered my list just in general. It was like my number 17. Like I really
Sure.
enjoyed it. I think one of the coolest things was how you revive your downed teammates by literally attacking them.
Beating the shit out.
That was such a cool idea that like the more they go down, the harder it is because you have to hit them more and more.
Right.
Um, I think my biggest thing, like, and I said that while we were playing and while we've talked about it, is like it's definitely a roguelike, but there's not a I know you can get like some stuff that like powers you from run to run, but it's
Right.
like the what happens in the run, like finding the elemental weakness and stuff like that is so key that like you can kind of tell halfway through a run if you're like, oh, we're kind of fucked here.
Yeah.
Like you have no chance. And unless you back out of it, it's like, well, I guess we'll follow through. And a run can be 45 minutes long. It's not short. And it's like, I don't
No.
really know how you could like shorten a run up. I think it's needed, but it is kind of like, if you're playing for 2 hours, like 2 hours of gaming, like, and that's only three runs, and if two of
Right.
them you feel like you're fucked from the beginning, that was kind of a bummer. But it is, I mean, it's really fun, and it is more Elden Ring, but also in some ways the exact opposite. Instead of slow, methodical, take your time, this is like you have to
Yeah.
go fast, which is definitely turns it on its head. I meant to go back and play Elden Ring after this and just to see how different it felt, but I never did. Um,
Sure.
it's just it makes me excited for Dusk Bloods, the weirdly Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive PvPvE um, game that's coming from FromSoft next year or this year now. I guess it is
Yeah.
2026. So that'll be interesting to see how those translate. So
Yeah. I mean, I know, like I said, like I wish there was more. I know that there's a lot of variances that can happen, maybe not a lot, like five, I think, total. And then the DLC, I think, has two different maps. They're unique enough. And I mean, of course, like you've got some that are just like, here's a snow thing, and then one that's just basically a fucking lava covering the center of the map. But I mean, like stuff like that, that still doesn't just differentiate the fact that you're still fighting a lot of the same bosses. So I mean, like for a person who wanted to play more of it, I think probably you would have been fine with the time that you've had. I mean, really, unless you dove back in with us, like you're not going to get much of a different experience every time, and that's my complaint. All right, what's your next honorable mention?
All right, my next honorable mention is one that I have been given a lot of shit for
Uh-oh.
on this podcast because it involves something that neither of you can do very well, which is read. My final honorable mention is Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector.
Yeah, see, even
Um,
that has too many words in it.
this game is a sequel to just Citizen Sleeper, which I absolutely loved the first Citizen Sleeper. It kind of came out of nowhere. I only played the first one because it was on Game Pass and this one's on Game Pass as well. This is kind of more of the same. You are like this sleeper character where it's kind of like a human copied consciousness in this robot body that needs like certain things, boosters, stuff like that to stay alive. So you have this like motivation every day to make money to earn these boosters, things like that. The first
Sure.
game was pretty small in scope. This one expands it out to where you're traveling around this different like star system. And gameplay wise, I liked this game more than the first one. The gameplay was fun. You do things by like rolling dice and getting the dice checks, things like that. Um, the reason what kind of kept it off my top 10, big part of it is like so many good games came out this year, but it's the story itself was very good in this one. But the thing I loved about Citizen Sleeper 1 was there were so many different endings depending on what you did. And then when I played Citizen Sleeper 1, I went and I explored different endings, but I had my ending, the ending that I felt like my character would have done.
Sure.
This one has an ending. Like
Oh
this
wow.
doesn't have multiple endings, which is a very
Mm.
interesting choice. Um, like you have an ending, and I was
Interesting.
like, "Oh, can I go back and do more?" As far as I know, like I haven't really like looked at it recently. I don't know if there's been updates or anything like that. But at launch, there was one ending, and the writing is beautiful. It's very much. It feels like a. I don't play tabletop RPGs because I have no one that I know personal like IRL in real life that would want to play something like that. But this feels like a tabletop RPG. A lot
I
of
like how
reading.
you abbreviated that and then fucking said the words, you
Yes,
dick.
well, maybe people don't know. I don't know. Um, so
I'm
it like
LOLing right now,
what does that mean?
laughing out louding.
I like how you had the ing. Um, but it's just the writing is really good, very descriptive. The writer of this game, I think it's mainly one person, but is just very good. Really like kind of awesome visualization, things like that. But it's just like the fact that it seemed more, while more open, but it kind of bottlenecks and is linear at the end wasn't what I was wanting from this series.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not something most people want from RPGs, period.
yeah, so
Role
that,
playing games, for anybody that doesn't know.
thank you, thank you. So yeah, I really liked the game. At one point, it was number one on my list because it was like one of the first games I played. This
Ooh.
came out back in January, so by default, it was number one on my list
High
because nothing,
standards.
but because nothing else had come out. But yeah, it's a great game. I think it's still on Game Pass. It's not very long. I think you can get through it in like 10, 15 hours max. It's very fun. Just there's other games that I liked more.
Sure. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not one that I'm ever gonna probably fuck with. Like if they end up putting in some voice acting that actually reads the words to me like a good audiobook, I'll be there. I mean, that was my complaint for Disco Elysium, right? Like known great game that I didn't want to sit and parse out myself. Like I play video games so you can tell me the story. I don't want to read the story. If I wanted to read the story, I'd go pick up a fucking book.
And even then, you need pictures.
Exactly. See?
You need your graphic novels. Side note, I have Absolute
Hmm.
Batman. I just picked that up, so I'm gonna read that
Hell
soon.
yeah.
Oh
Hell yeah.
shit.
All right, Johnny, what's your
Uh,
next honorable mention?
okay, my next honorable mention. Okay, there was way too many fucking games. I played this already when I was primarily like Steam Deck-ish person only. Doom, The Dark Ages. I wanted to get it like a physical copy. Got it for the PlayStation 5. Apparently, it's like enhanced, so anything outside of like a portable handheld is a definite upgrade. My eyes just don't see like, like other people like, oh yeah, you could tell like, this is way more upgraded fidelity, visuals, blah blah blah. My eyes never been attuned
Sure.
to that. But it's of all the, there's so many games, but this one I want to replay it again. I want to give it its honorable mention because it's just like it made me like love Doom again. Like I didn't like the other ones they had before. I think it was like I forgot what they were. Like it was just like regular Doom and there's like some Doom like Ancient Gods or something like that. I think the title was for that one after that. It's just they weren't just for me. I don't know. It just didn't hit. It just didn't click. But for Dark Ages, I think maybe it's because like it felt like going back to like the old school ways, but like with today's graphics. It made it more fun and like using a giant fucking mech is also like pretty sweet as well.
Yeah.
That gives it up anything. Like I think Elliot said this like the dragon part was okay, it wasn't that great. So it's like I felt that it's like uh, it's good. That's why it's in the honorable mentions. There's just way too many fucking games to like try to cram it in there a part of the top 10. But like it's a great first person shooter, especially if you're just like jumping back into like Doom you haven't done in a while. So it's like for the old heads, it's great.
Yeah. I think Doom the Dark Ages was really good. I mean,
Hmm.
as somebody who did not really fuck with Doom 2016, I think
Yeah.
I mean, like, right, we've talked about this on here before. I definitely had in length the linear or sublinear format that the zones give you in Doom the Dark Ages really feels very old school Doom while feeling kind of new.
Hmm.
Right? Like they didn't Call of Duty it like you're not just chasing objectives, but while you
Yeah.
still kind of are, but like those zones are big enough where you can really miss a lot if you
Oh
don't
yeah.
go every little fucking inch. I mean, there were
Yeah.
points of
Hmm.
maps where I was Googling it, right? Like I think one of the zones has like six, five or six like wolf statues that you have to go find, and then it unlocks
Hmm.
something in the center of the map. So like that one I was Googling, I was like, all right, I want this power up, but I don't know where all these fucking things are. And really some of them were just like random ass places. One of them, if I remember, was like off a cliff. So like you'd have to look outside of the map to even
Yeah.
find it. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one,
Hmm.
I played it and I liked it at first, but it is so fast paced and frenetic.
Hmm.
That's not my style of game. I know that's shocking to you guys. Just
That's
talking about another
yeah.
as fast paced as Citizen Sleeper is. Um,
Yes.
it's just like I played it and it was like, oh, my heart rate is elevated in a
Mhm.
way that like I don't love. And it's like I get why people would really like this game. It just wasn't for me. So,
That I was that's curious to hear you say that because a lot of like those like new like Doom fans, 2016ers, they thought that this was slow. Like this Doom was just
Right.
not fast enough for them. And I was like, it's pretty fast. Like it's enough, but not like maybe like high octane fucking shit that they like are like so used to.
mhm, yeah. So,
Yeah, I mean, like it was slow, but it wasn't like
Hmm.
terrible. And I think this game had like a setting to where you could even increase the speed, and I almost
Yeah.
wonder if I did that. But
mhm.
whatever.
Yeah. I've heard the increased speed like got some people motion sick though, because it's like
Well,
I can't remember who said that one podcast I was listening to because it like wasn't necessarily meant to be at that speed, so it was just like craziness.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm a guy that turns motion blur off in games anymore, honestly.
Hmm. All right, Adam.
All right. Here's the one. It's going to be a little controversial, maybe, for the people on this podcast.
uh-oh.
Dispatch.
Ouch.
Okay, talk about it.
I think for me, my only complaint with Dispatch is it wasn't much of a game, right? Like, as entertaining and good as it was, like, I've got some video games on my list, right? Like, these are things that I played. Like I actually did things more than just kind of move some icons or do a hacking mini game. And QTEs wouldn't save this for me. Like I did play with those off. I don't care for QTEs anymore. I am the old man that if it's in the accessibility or if it's in the options, I will hold the button rather than fucking tap it. I don't care anymore. Um, but like looking at Telltale games, you move around the world, you control a character, you do things in that game that actually require you to move your thumbs more than every fucking 3 minutes. Like it is something that you are actually doing. You are sometimes solving puzzles. Like there are consequences that are timed and measures of how fast you find something and open a door or press a button or something like that. But you're still controlling the character. You're living in a world as that character. Meanwhile, for this, like as much as I chose what Robert Robertson III did, I wasn't necessarily ever doing anything that I felt would have been like, this is how I shape this character, right? Like it's Invisigal or it's fucking blonde blazer. I can't remember her name. Um, or nobody, right? And it's like that's kind of the biggest choices that you've got aside from choosing from one of two people that will leave your team and then choosing from one of two people that would like will join your team. Aside
Mhm.
from that, you're kind of just picking dialogue options that set forth the story. Like again, it's really good. This thing is hilarious. I mean, I played fucking Flambe's I'm a Bitch on an episode a while back, right? Like, so I have a lot of love for Dispatch. It just wasn't enough game for me to want to actually give up one of my top 10 for.
Cool. Well, I will hold my thoughts until later on that one. I feel like
When it's
I'm
number one,
I'm not going to speak for Johnny, but I think
Yeah,
Johnny might do the same.
I will also be doing the same.
All right.
Correct.
So we are now ready for our top 10. So again, a reminder, now it's full in effect. Like if that would have been number 10 for Adam, he
Hmm.
wouldn't have talked about it because we would have held it for later, kind of spoiling
yeah,
that it's not my number 10. But so for example, if I say my number 10, and someone else has it higher, then just say I have it higher and we'll wait to talk about it then.
Hmm.
I don't think that's going to be the case for number 10. And I think number 10 is going to maybe surprise you guys. But my number
well,
10,
let this man
Well,
play your fucking
yeah,
music.
I gotta play
Hold
your
oh,
on,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
calm
yeah.
down,
Sorry, sorry.
chill.
bring it in.
It's the final countdown. The final countdown. Oh, we're headed for Venus, Venus, and still we stand tall. 'Cause maybe they've seen us.
All right.
I
Well,
forgot he wrote like rhymed Venus with Venus.
well, he should have picked a different word, but it's penis. He should have said penis.
Right.
All right, that I think was was my pick for my song last year's game of the year. So I think I might be starting a tradition, but I mean, very fitting. It is the final countdown. All right, so without further ado, my number 10 is Blueprints.
You fucker. I knew you'd have it.
Does
Nobody higher?
anybody have it
Higher?
higher?
Absolutely not.
So, my thing about Blueprints is absolutely not my style of game. I don't really play puzzle games that much. If I do, it's more like visual puzzles, like maybe like a Match 3, or if you would call Lumines Arise, which is not on my top 10, a puzzle game like Tetris style.
Sure.
Blueprints just really got me, and I think part of the reason is the roguelike nature. I've mentioned it on this podcast before that like I love roguelites and just like the idea of keeping going. And it is just I can't even find it somewhere around here. It's the only game I think that I've ever actually taken physical notes on, um,
Hmm.
just through different
Yep.
runs. Because in Blueprints, you are this like 14-year-old kid who inherited this ever-shifting mansion from your great uncle, I think. And your
Sure.
initial thing is to get to, I'm even blanking, what is it, room 47?
46.
Room 46. Your initial goal is to get to room 46 in this mansion. If you can get to room 46, then you get to inherit the mansion. But every day it shifts, and it's a play on words because You have blueprints, PRINTS, of different rooms that you can draft in this grid to try to get to the room 46. You also find a lot of different puzzles that can be in different rooms um, along the way. And as I was playing, I really had to open myself up to the idea that every run that I did, and I think I ended up doing something along the lines of 50 runs or 50 days in game time. You're not going to get, if you're like, my goal here is to get to room 46 on this run, then you're going to have a bad time because the way this game is set up is not to let you do that necessarily. There are ways that you can like kind of change the randomness to help you out, and there's different ways you can get to that initial goal, but it's more about the exploring and seeing different puzzles and stuff like that. And I just really got drawn in. Adam and I talked a decent amount when we were playing this.
Yeah.
And when I finally hit that run, I think I was like texting Adam as I felt the run was coming on. I was like, oh, I can finally maybe get this. When I finally hit room 46 in Blueprints, that is one of the highest highs in gaming I felt this year, if not the highest. Like
Sure.
just that thing, that idea of hitting room 46, doing all the things I needed to do. I looked up a tiny bit of stuff, but mostly I played it blind. Um, and like I was like, wow, that feels so good. And then it like really opens up, and I won't spoil too much, but basically there's like other doors beyond room 46 that you need to do things to open. That's like the next meta step. This is a game where I opened room 46 in I think 18 hours. And people have played this game for hundreds of hours. And
Yeah.
there's this idea that maybe there's still more in this game that nobody has discovered. So I really had to like sit there and think like, am I going to go the next step beyond or am I going to stop right here? And I think
Sure.
with as much as that game pulled me, I think I made the right choice of like stopping there. Like I was good. I loved the time that I had with it, but if I continued on, it was going to be a lot of time investment, a lot of, again, I don't love puzzle games, but that one drew me in. I think it would have soured my experience on
Yeah.
it.
I believe that.
So I think it's an incredible game. I think the fact that it is that a puzzle ass puzzle game is on my top 10 list is shocking to me. And it's one that I had this and Citizen Sleeper 2 back and forth on which one I wanted to actually include on my top 10. But I think for me with Blueprints, it was just the idea of like the highs, like discovering like when I finally got to room 46 or some of the meta puzzles, there's like certain like there's one puzzle that involves like these pictures that are in each room and realizing what the different pictures in the different rooms could mean. And the idea that like while there's very few, there are some upgrades that you can get that are permanent, but most of the time it's your knowledge. And that's it. Like it's a roguelike very much in that like every run is meaningful if you let it be. And I think that's one thing. Like there was a couple of times I kind of went on tilt, and like there was one night that I was like blazing through. I think I did like 5 runs in the course of an hour, and a run should probably take about an hour itself, maybe,
Sure.
if you're doing a good one. And it was like, oh, I can't play this way, and I had to slow down. So great game. I get why some people, a certain type of person, would think like this is one of the greatest games ever made. That is not me, but it had enough to where it got its hooks in me and deserved a spot on my top 10.
I think Blueprints was really good. It just reached a spot where, like I said, like I liked it until I didn't. And I think it was when I unlocked room 46, because there's like 3 doors that you have to open, or you have to open like one very critical door. And when I got there and that wasn't like open, I felt ripped off.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
thank you.
Because that is true. Like you get to room 46, but you have to do like a step beyond that to actually open it.
Yeah.
So, and
Like I, no,
did you,
go
no,
ahead.
did you do that? Did you do like
Nope.
the next step? Okay. So,
Nope. Once I
it,
got there and fucking realized that, I stopped caring. It
uh-huh.
was like, this was my objective. This is what you told me to do. And now you hit me with a fucking roadblock, and I have like 6 steps left, and I really don't give a shit anymore now.
Yeah.
Because I got really good at like making sure that like the center spot, I think, is where I put the mine. Is that the one that like is a permanent one?
Hmm.
I think like I put that in the center, which felt okay because then I could navigate to a few of the others easier. But I got like really good at making sure a lot of rooms were interconnected, whether they required keys or not, like whatever. But once I saw that, I just thought, fuck you. Like there's nothing that you have told me so far that said, hey, when you get to room 46, there's also this other thing that you're gonna have to do. Right. Like there's also
Hmm.
this other door that you're gonna have to open because you're planning around the garage, right? Like the garage is an upgrade. I got a few of the big upgrades. Like I think I maybe three or four of them. And I thought, okay, this is really cool. Like this is now how you make each new day feel a little bit better for the player. Like one gives you more steps and shit like that. But just man, I don't know. Like fuck that.
Yeah, Johnny, did you play it at all?
No, I didn't play it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was one. It was also
It'll
on,
be fun.
it was on everything. I think it was like
Mm,
on Game Pass, it was on PS Plus. I think it was just
yeah.
like it got out there. So, uh cool game, and I know it gets like really meta, and like I said, I think there's this thought. I don't know if the developer, it's like a single guy that did this for the most part. I don't know if he confirmed or denied that there is some stuff that hasn't been found. Um
Mm.
but it's like it's cool. It's a really interesting game. There was part of me that like a little bit later in the year, I was like, "Ooh, should I go back to Blueprint?" And it's like I've lost so much of like just the innate knowledge. And yes, I had the notes, but it's like my notes that I wrote were not like enough to like really refresh my mind. It would have been
Hmm.
Right.
doing a lot of starting over. So
Like I think it's a
Gotcha.
really cool idea that RNG just really fucking sucks.
yeah.
Like it can really ruin a run in a way
Mhm.
that I think a lot of other roguelites don't have, right? Like there's times in roguelites where you just realize that you fucked up as the player, not so much like, hey, you just got dealt a bad hand.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think that that was like a lot of the negative is like the RNG, especially like the further you get. And it is less about like exploring and finding new things on every run. Um,
Yeah,
that it's like, well, I'm not learning new things and this RNG is screwing me. So,
right. Like it was great every time that you found a new room. Like that was cool. I mean, you found something new, you discovered something
uh-huh.
new. And if it was like a bedroom, you were like, do I want to get the extra steps from this? Or is this just really going to fuck me? Because a lot of bedrooms don't actually have another door. So it's like, where do you want to place that? I like it was good on the planning side, but god damn, can you just get fucked?
Yeah. Another thing that I think was really cool was like the music and the atmosphere and the loneliness you felt while playing the game.
Yeah,
It bordered on horror for me multiple times because I just felt like, oh my gosh, am I gonna open one of these rooms and there's gonna be some like grisly ass like murder scene or something like that? Because it
yeah,
just kind of felt like it like something like that was gonna happen. And from my understanding, it never gets there, and you ever actually never even see another person. There's just
right.
like notes and like hints and stuff like that. Like people are not there when you are there, but just like very cool atmosphere.
Yeah, you never like run into the bathroom from the first Saw movie or anything like that.
Now, Johnny, what's your number 10?
Like,
I got love for my homies who be rolling with me. Play no games, cause ain't nobody playing with me. I got love for my niggas on my family tree. I got love for the ghetto, down for whatever. If you was down before, then you still gonna be down with me. I got game, cause the game was given to me. Say my name, cause ain't nobody tighter than me.
So yeah, I got love for my homies here. It's been like this is a year different from like the last format to this format, changing the podcast and actually enjoying it more than before, like not being too restrictive or like fucking oh shit, we got to mention Metal Gear, even if it's just like a quick 2 seconds of it. Um, but yeah, like fucking, I really wouldn't be doing this without you guys. That's what I wanted to say off the
Yeah.
top.
And I will do it this time instead of Adam. I want to thank you for allowing us to do this. While we're on, Adam and I are on just chatting. You're the one that,
Yeah.
does all the editing does all the setup, everything like that. So like we obviously couldn't do this without you. It's been really, really fun, and it's like definitely been a blast every single time, whether it was when it was on Metal Gear Resurrections or now as Gamer Zaddies. I really appreciate you giving us this opportunity.
And I appreciate you guys. And so number 10, I don't think you guys are gonna have it above number 10, is fucking Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Um,
Yeah.
okay, now you're probably going like, whoa, what the fuck's that about? Like, this
Nope.
is
Say your
like
piece.
horrible piece of shit game. Yes, okay. The story is really bad. It's like whoever did the story didn't read a fucking comic. Um, the game feels easier than its relative like past like cousins, which like
Yeah.
fucking the Shredder's Revenge and I don't know, but you know what it is? Why I put it at 10 because it was the most fun I had doing multiplayer with you guys since fucking Helldivers 2. It's like
No, for sure.
minus the we couldn't hit each other, kill each other, but the fact that we can like somewhat break the game,
You could juggle this shit out of a dead body.
juggle the shit out of fucking corpses for like combo breakers, which I feel like you should they should have like made trophies for that shit. Like I don't know, juggling a corpse because you made like 300 combo shit.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, like get creative with it, people. But like, you know what? It's also a game that helps you if you're going to play with people who are like casual gamers that are like not really into that type of games. Because I went back and played it with my daughter and my wife, and it's just like it's not the same as with you guys. We just like obliterate the game, but it also lends a challenge if you're like a person who plays with new people and shit like that. It's fun for its multiplayer. That's why I put it at 10 because like you could play with like you guys who are like, yeah, we know what to do. We can fucking bang the shit out in like several hours, or you could play with like friends and family and just do like a fucking couch co-op shit like back in the day and just chill out and have a good time playing like multitude of Marvel characters, which I feel like they should have maybe included a little bit more on the roster than just the people you unlock as you go through the game where it's like, well, shit, I got these people. It's like I'm pretty much near the end of the game. Thank you for that. Um, but yeah, that's the primary reason why it's not there. And thank God it's on Game Pass because I don't think I would have paid fucking money for this title. Um, that was like my original thing to do, but for some reason it was just like, all right, let me try Game Pass because it just didn't feel like it was going to be like Shredder's Revenge. Like, I feel like it's like something's off with it, the way it's like kind of like been marketed and thrown out there and stuff like that. So I was like, now I know why. It's like they really didn't like scale the difficulty when you have like max of four
Or
players. I know.
yeah. I mean, like it was really fun playing, right, with all of
Hmm.
us. And then, Gabe joined it. I think having a full party is the way to go.
Hmm.
It's one of those where you almost always are going to want somebody else to play with. I mean, I would give it that credit to it. It's
Yeah.
just you're not really going to want to sit and solo play Cosmic Invasion. Um, but yeah, I mean, like we had a blast, right? Like we shit on this game when we played it. Like it's not great by itself. It's
Hmm.
great with others. I
Yeah.
think the systems in it are okay. Like the game functions. There's nothing
Hmm.
wrong with
Yeah.
Cosmic Invasion, right? It's just
Hmm.
it didn't meet expectations or whatever. And like you said, Johnny, like it,
Hmm.
it feels like it needs about 10 more characters for you to choose from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There would have been added diversity if there were more.
And the idea that, you know, every level had a different challenges based on specific characters. Like I kind of
Right.
wish that the levels would have had challenges for every character. And it would have
Yeah.
been like, okay, with this character you can do this. When it was like, well, I was gonna stick with what was I? I was playing as Scarlet Witch and then Spider-Man, I think was my two for
Yeah.
most of it. Once we
Yeah.
unlocked Scarlet Witch, it's like I don't want to switch from those two because I like those two, but it's not really giving me, and I get it wants an incentive for like story reasons and stuff like
Hmm.
that, but it's like you're not caring that much about the story overall, other than
No.
that, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Um, no, I think it was a very fun game, and it's like, you know, it didn't like the gameplay did not get in the way of having fun playing with buddies. Like another game, I don't think this is going to be on your guys' list, FBC Firebreak, was very
Yeah.
much a
Yeah.
game where the gameplay did get in the way of enjoying playing with you guys. Like it was still fun to play that game, but it was like, what the fuck are we doing here? I don't understand this. This is frustrating when that did not happen in Marvel Cosmic Invasion. It was complete fun. I think the only time one any of us wasn't having fun was when Adam was sick of us, sick of me specifically, spending 5 minutes juggling a dead body instead of moving on.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's when I try to like intervene, like, hey, look, I'm gonna toss his body across the fucking level here. Let's see
Oh.
if you can keep up.
But no, yeah, definitely fun game to play with other friends. And it was great that it was on
Yeah.
Game Pass because like if you would have spent, what was
Yeah.
it, I think it was a $40 game.
It was. Yeah.
So
I can't remember. Is it?
if
Okay.
you would have spent $40 on that, it would have been like, huh.
I think even asking
Yeah.
30 is a lot
Yeah.
for this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it
This
didn't
was
feel like a
definitely a
full game. It felt like a DLC to like a bigger title to like this
Hmm.
it should be. I don't know. That's what it felt like to me.
yeah, it felt very much just like a spin-off of Shredder's Revenge. And I can't
Yeah.
remember, like I think they did a He-Man or they were gonna do a He-Man
I
game. I
think
don't
they're
remember, but
doing
like
it. Yeah.
yeah, like if it's just more of this, that's
Mhm.
okay, but goddamn, lower your price.
I mean, yeah, it's like what I said before, like when I think they announced this, it's just like nostalgia bait where it's like they want to get people who love like those type of games, like the old Ninja Turtle games, like the fucking
Yeah,
the coin operated X-Men arcade game.
right.
The people that love those kind of games, like it's gonna hit like them like, oh, I remember playing these kind of games back in the day. Like, let me play it now and see how it is.
Well,
Same
I think
thing.
that like in these days after what is it, Marvel's Alliance came out, several
Yeah.
fucking decades ago now, to not put Colossus in here and you have Wolverine and you can't do like a fastball special is kind of fucked.
So
But
dumb.
whatever.
Yeah.
Johnny, have you heard of Absolum?
No, I have
It's
not.
it's a beat 'em up with roguelite
Mm,
uh, framing and it is really good. It's
okay.
Elliot and I played for a little bit. Gabe
Mm,
and I have sat and played for a few hours actually, just off and on. And it's kind of one of those games that like if I have up and Gabe walks in the room, he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm going to sit and play this with you now."
hmm.
Um, Great beat 'em up, great
Gotcha.
art. The story's, kind of inconsequential as most roguelites are, but it's great. Like I think if you took Cosmic Invasion and compared against
Hmm.
that, you'd have a very different experience, right? Like the
Mm,
bosses are actual bosses and feel challenging, and normal enemies actually also still feel challenging. There's not often parts where you feel overpowered in the same way that you do with Cosmic Invasion.
Hmm.
Like it's
gotcha.
great, and it's only $30. So
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Adam and I played and we were really digging it. And then we had
Hmm.
like it just like would not let us connect to each
yeah,
other playing online, or
Oh,
else we would have played more. And that kind of, I have a
yeah.
weird thing where if there's some online connectivity issues with a game, it's gonna sour me on that game. And not
right.
that it really did, but I haven't gone back to Absalom yet. I need to. I need to see what it's like solo. I've heard it's still pretty good solo. Keep forgetting that.
We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah. One more time.
Number 10, Split Fiction.
Pick
I
on
don't know if
mine.
anybody else has it on theirs. Probably
Nope.
not. If there's a game that
Oh no, he cut out. We're gonna have to have him restart.
Yeah.
He'll come back.
He started with if there's a game
He'll pop
at the
back.
beginning.
Listener, we had a little up
There
you.
he
There
is.
you go.
there I
You
am.
Booyah.
you cut out the very beginning. You said if there's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
game,
If
and
there's a
then
game.
If there's a game, and that's it. It's number 10.
Number 10.
Um, yeah, so if there's a game that I can play with my wife, like it's always going
Mm,
to be on the list, right? I think that's always fun. I think that's always a good addition. I think it's a good addition to the year to actually have the ability because that doesn't happen often anymore. Like there's not a lot of split screen co-op things that happen anymore, nor are there a lot of split screen co-op games that she would want to play, right? Like I just recommended Absolute to Johnny. I thought, hey, Carrie and I could play this. My wife would not be interested in playing Absolute, right? Like just not really good do, but it's not necessarily going to be something that speaks to her. It's just one of those run and die and come back and do it all over again kind of things rather than actually tell you a story. And I'm not going to sit here and say that the story of Split Fiction is fucking great or anything like that. I'm going to follow all the sentiments from everybody else and say the last hour of this game is fucking batshit. And similar experiences like the that I have heard, I was noticing a lot what was happening on screen and being kind of like flabbergasted by it. Meanwhile, my wife's just like going through and pushing the stick and hitting the buttons, not really like taking it all in. And I'm like, there's very crazy things that are happening right now. Like there's a mixing of worlds that are actively happening, sometimes just like in a rotating clockwise kind of thing where it's like this character's over here in this fantasy world, meanwhile this one's over here in the other world, and it just kind of keeps like oscillating back and forth between the two. Fucking batshit. Um Split Fiction, I think, is much better than It Takes Two, really, in a lot of ways. I think it found a way to actually make all that bullshit feel better. Some of the worlds are dumb, right? Like, but dumb in a good way. I mean, there's one where you're a fucking hot dog and you're trying to jump onto a bun, and like you're squirting the mustard and ketchup onto the bun, like stupid stuff like that. But overall, it's fun. I mean, I think if you don't think your spouse would want to play a game, this is probably a decent one to try. It's not too demanding. I think there were maybe one or two kind of puzzles that we got hung up on, and we're like, all right, let's kind of table this for the night and we'll come back tomorrow and figure it the fuck out. And that's exactly what we did. It's just kind of one of those things where sets the expectation, and you thought, oh hey, this should be this. Well, no, it's actually this character that needs to go do this thing, and it looked good. It ran fine. Like I had no issues with Split Fiction aside from it just maybe, I don't want to say it was too short. I don't know if I would want a longer version of Split Fiction, but I would definitely take more Split Fictions. Like I know that they've not been big on sequels. Obviously, A Way Out doesn't have a sequel, or It Takes Two doesn't have an It Takes Three follow up. Like I think if that would be like polygamy actually if they were to do that. So that's probably why they haven't done that. But like I would do more Split Fiction, right? Like if they chose, let's do two separate worlds and two separate characters. I don't want follow-ups from these characters. One was very unlikable. I know they made her very unlikable, but when I don't like an unlikable character, you really oversold your unlikable character. Um, but I would go for more.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be here for what they make.
Yeah. So I also got this game, and Adam and I played a little, actually a decent amount of it, what, maybe a fourth of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Um, and it was fun, but it wasn't something like, Adam had already finished it with his wife. And it was gonna be something I would have had to been like, I'm sure Adam, if I would have been like, let's play again, you absolutely would have. But I
oh yeah,
didn't really feel the need to. Like the characters really kind of grinded on me. I write fantasy, I write sci-fi. Fuck you. Your style of writing sucks. Oh no, there's this Elon Musk or whatever type bad guy.
yeah.
He's gonna take our thoughts. Um, and it
A
was
Jeffrey
fun. It
Musk,
was
if you will, is basically what he was.
yeah, but it was just like I didn't enjoy it enough. Like my wife would not have, as much as Adam's wife is not a gamer, my wife is even less so. Like the only game that we've played together has been The Quarry. And even that part, like anytime there was any kind of actual game type stuff and it was my wife's turn, she just handed me the controller.
Sure.
So the only game she plays is like The Sims. So I knew it wasn't going to be something that she would want to play. I had a physical copy of it, and I ended up giving it to my nephews, who one of them is 18, one of them is 10. I need to actually, that was just over the holiday when they were up here. I need to text them and see if they've played it. But I was like, I'm not going to finish this game. It might as well go to some use. Like, I get it, great game. I
Mm.
did end up pulling up a video of that ending, and it did look fucking wild, and that would have been
Yeah,
really
that's
fun.
cool as shit.
But also, I was looking at that, and it's like, if I would have tried to make my wife play that,
Mm.
it would not have ended well. Like that would not
Yeah.
have been done. So, I get it. It's again, if like Adam, if you and I live close to each other and could play it more in the same room, or
Right.
if there was infinite time, things like that. Like I could have seen myself finishing it and maybe like really enjoying it, but as it is, I was just like, there's other things I want to do, other priorities, trying to spend time to coordinate a night to play. And when it would have taken at least two or three more sessions to finish it, just wasn't something that was high on my priority list.
Yeah, I mean, it really does have the convenience of split screen. Really, like if, like you said, if we were side by side, would have been kind of no issue. But when you're dealing with everything else that we deal with as parents, it's impossible to fucking schedule around.
Yeah.
We're lucky that we even have a podcast sometimes.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So cool. All right, well, moving right along, my number nine, and again, I don't think this is one that I
Mm.
have to worry about you guys having higher.
Uh-oh.
It is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles.
Right when you said it, I fucking knew that was going to be it.
So as I had mentioned multiple times on this podcast, like I'm a huge Final Fantasy person. Like pretty much all of the single player games, especially from 7 on, I've like played, love various forms. Final Fantasy X is my favorite game of all time. Final Fantasy Tactics was a huge blind spot for me. I never played it. By the time I had the ability to play it or anything like that, had heard a lot of like just that there was some horrible quality of life things, stuff like that. So I just never got around to it. And so when they announced this remake slash remaster slash whatever you want to call it, I was very excited. And man, that game did not disappoint. So from my understanding, it's very much the 1997 game. But with a lot of quality of life improvements, with full voice acting, things like that. So it was really fun. The tactics fighting on it is really good. It was a game that it was like, I could just, okay, I'm gonna grind out levels for the next couple hours. So I don't really need headphones in. I can do this with the volume off and I can just, watch TV or do whatever. But then like the story parts, the story of this game is a lot more realistic. It is a Final Fantasy game. There are magical crystals, things like this, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, it is like, boy, I think whoever made this game was reading Game of Thrones when they came up with this game because it is very, very Game of Thrones. And yes, that book series did start way back in the 80s. So I'm sure they had the first one or two that they could have read. Um, and the ending of it is so not what you would expect from the ending of a Final Fantasy game. And it is
Okay.
one that made me think, and I still think about the ending of that game and how good the ending of that game was and how
Wow.
just like how like it makes you think about like who is the hero, who's viewed as the hero for what they did, things like that. Um, yeah, I definitely can see like even there are some really rough parts of it in true JRPG fashion. The hardest part of that game is not the final battle by any stretch of the imagination. The hardest part of
Interesting.
that game came two-thirds of the way through the game on this really, really difficult boss battle where once you go into a dungeon, the dungeons in this game are just where you have to do a couple battles sequentially instead of just doing one battle and going to the outer world. I guess in the original game, once you started those sequential battles, there was no way to get out of them.
Oh shit.
When I played this one, I was like, oh, I am not prepared because you always have a party of anywhere from 3 to 5 people that you're fighting with until this battle when it's like, hey, this is a one-on-one battle. And if your guy is not prepared to like heal himself or be able to like keep up, then you are fucked. And I guess like it soft locked or really hard locked a lot of people back in the original because they were not prepared. And I
Sure.
thought I was prepared because I knew it was kind of coming up because I had heard about it and I even wasn't. So I had to back out and go change some things, grind a little bit, get stronger and come back in. So I could see, I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I played it in this iteration. Um, but yeah, it's a fantastic game. It kind of, another game that I was very excited for was Demon School, but those came out right around the same time. And when I finished Final Fantasy Tactics, I was like, I need to take a break from tactics-based games. I'll come back to
Sure.
Demon School later. And then now I've taken a sharp right turn and I'm playing a different tactics game from last year. but which is the what 100 line Last Defense Academy is what I'm currently playing right now. I'm sure I'll talk more about it on the next episode, but it's great. I'm glad I played it. That fills in one of my gaps in my Final Fantasy fandom. I kind of want to go play. I know Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, a lot of people really like. So I do want to try to find a good way to play that at some time in the near-ish future. So wouldn't recommend it to either of you two. I don't think it is your style of game, but I am very glad it exists. Yeah, super cool.
Well, you answered the fucking question that I had was, would I be able or want to play this maybe? But apparently fucking not.
No, no, I don't think that you would. I mean, you might like it, but it is not your style of game for sure.
I mean, all right, so like you said, the story is
Mm.
kind of mature-ish or Game of Thronesy. Like, how is it compared to Final Fantasy 16 that is also incredibly Game of Thronesy?
Final Fantasy 16 was Game of Thronesy, but it was also like it's Game of Thrones, but these people have this insane power. Final Fantasy 16 kind of remind me is like
Sure.
what if everyone in Game of Thrones had dragons? Which was, I mean,
Mm.
they've now made a spin-off
Yeah,
of or a prequel of Game of Thrones is what if everyone in Game of Thrones has dragons? This is more like here's the intrigue, here's the more political intrigue, and then there's this like dragon type thing. There's these crystals that could be used, but we're not really worried about that here. It's more of a back and forth between a couple of different um, powers and things like that. So, um, yeah, and it's just dark, kind of grounded. It is a game that I almost uh, got out like a notebook and wrote down like who people were just to keep the name straight. But
oh shit.
it does have like a codex where you can go and read up. So I referred to that quite a bit before I got like the hang of it because it is
Sure.
pixelated. It's pixel art, so it's not like the different characters don't look super unique from each other. It's like, oh, who is that old fuck in the armor compared to this other old fuck in the armor? Well,
Yeah,
so no, it's great. And like I guess like I would say like if you had the opportunity to maybe grab it from the library on a slow if there wasn't anyone else to play, maybe you could try it. Like if your library
sure.
had it and see. I played it on Switch 2 and I think portable. I know, Adam, you're not a big portable person, but like playing it and having that option was a great way to play it.
I'll play it in spite of you.
Mm.
Do it. Do it.
Good.
Johnny, you're it.
All right, number 9. Arc Raiders. Anybody have that on their list? Anyone
No.
arcing it up? Okay, all right. So, like any of these fucking games, before the craze occurs, like before everyone just fucking scrums to it and like just seeps pure toxicity into it. This game was actually really fucking fun to play it. Post-apocalyptic world. Oh, the robots are pretty much taking over. We're trying to like make sure we can live underground and shit like that. There was a point in this game where, all of it was fun. This, scouring the maps, which were like pretty fucking big. Um, hence why like you have like so many fucking people on it there now. I don't know what it is now, like the player count, but like at the time, scavenging, shootouts with the robots, shootouts with fucking people who were just like dickheads in the beginning, just want to like shoot people just to like see what happened. Crafting was fun. Having like these like things where it's like, oh, you can have a crafting pack, you can have like an armor pack, you can have like similar to like a gun pack to make like your skills up your skills while you're out in the world. Being the fact that ability like you can cater every type of weaponry you can possibly think of to how your style of gameplay was. So for me, it was like very much silenced pistol and then a fucking automatic weapon with some grenades to like fucking go into this shit.
Sure.
At one point, the escape part was that like if you wanted to like if you scavenged enough, you got enough shit so you can go back to your home. You had to go like certain spots of the map, and certain spots of the map were like elevators, and you need like a key, depending, like could be like one, two keys to like activate it. There was points where like people were like, I would go in there and like, yeah, I would meet like a stranger, be like, hey, he's got a key, I'll go find the other key. Let's get the fuck out of here with all of our shit. Now it's just like people camping and it's just not fun anymore. But during that peak moment of time where it's like I can definitely see myself like this could have been my successor to Helldivers 2. Even that had like fucking idiots and assholes, but you can like fucking kick them out. That was not a
Yeah,
problem. This one was like
right.
shit. Well, I gotta live with these fucking people and like run away and like search for another exit while I'm like dying while a robot drone is just like zapping me to death. But like yeah, it's like all these like live service games, not much to the story, gives you a little bit like what's going on in the world, during the tutorial. And I mean, would I go back to it now? Probably not, because all these fuck this there was just so many games. Had to narrow it down. That's why it's like so low on the list. And I would say like for that moment, it was really, really, I want to say a top game. Um, there was not much like complaints to it other than like you don't have a cover button, but like not all these games will have like that. Like you just gotta use to it, use your environment to like shield yourself and stuff like that. But which was pretty fucking um easy to do. Like you could literally use doors to kill people as well. I forgot about that. Like you could
Oh
time
yeah.
it, slam a garage door on somebody like who's just chasing you, be like, yeah, fuck you, bam, let me just cave your head in. Yeah, other than that, it was a really fun game. Maybe if it wasn't like released now, maybe if it was like 2026, it would have been like maybe possibly different before like all the campers and like toxic gamers just flooded it. Just give it some time to breathe because like I'm gonna say like most of my time on this list is like there was just way too many games. I would have like really enjoyed to like stay in that world, like camp a little bit more in the story, do a little more with the crafting because like there's just so much you can do and like things that you can like collectibles like ducks. And they did do like a patch where I think some gamer had like so many ducks collected in their travel, like now it just litters their whole room instead of one shelf. So it's like things like that where it's like it makes it like pretty like kind of like memorable to play this type of game.
Sure.
I think they're
Like
definitely go ahead.
Mhm.
Gabe's been playing the hell out of it, and I know that
Okay.
we've all kind of talked about playing it. I mean, my thing for not wanting to get this was just a time issue, right?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it would have been cool to jump in at that time, but what held me back was like I don't necessarily want to spend $40 on this kind of game that I know I'm
Yeah.
going to play maybe once every couple of weeks for like 2 hours each go.
Mhm.
Like it just didn't speak to me in that fashion, but like
Mhm.
I understand that people love it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, like everything that you just said makes it sound cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like, does it feel good? Like, is the shooting smooth or is it like,
Yeah, it is. It's smooth. The shooting and the controls are tight. Oh, especially with the aiming. It's I don't see like there's no like like delay or anything. Physics maybe possibly, but I haven't done like long range shooting kind of
or
thing. Like I haven't like sniped people, but like it's I would say maybe similar to akin to, like if you put like Call of Duty in third person mode,
okay,
like that
okay,
kind of feel and tightness.
Yeah, I think I definitely echo what Adam says. Like, Johnny, I mean, I think the
Mm,
reason, and I'm not gonna like give myself credit, but I think part of the reason you bought it was like we had mentioned like maybe all three of us playing it, and then
yeah.
you're like, oh, I bought it, and I never got around to pulling the trigger on it. And shit, I just pulled it up. They're still on Steam. There's 417,000 players playing right
Yeah.
now.
damn,
Yeah.
So, and it's like, so the amount of people that have stuck with it, like its all-time peak is 481,000. And yes, it is a Saturday afternoon right now, like
Hmm.
perfect time to play it. But like the fact that there's still that many people playing it, I could
yeah,
definitely see a world where like this game continues and evolves and eventually we do play it or
Hmm.
like it continues and it's going to be like another like Fortnite or another like game like that where it's around and it's changing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, definitely. Like, if it was coming out at the end of January instead of that fucking High Guard game
Yeah.
from the Game
Yeah.
Awards, then yes, I absolutely would have been like, because there's like, I looked ahead a little bit at like games that are coming out. There's like really nothing for January. Like, there's nothing to stop me from playing it now. Like, but I don't know. I do feel
It's
like,
on sale on Xbox.
is it on sale?
Yeah,
Oh, it's on sale.
Shit. Well, who knows? Maybe we will switch around and end up playing it. But yeah,
switch around and find out.
fuck. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I was
I
gonna say
think,
like minus all like the toxic players, there are like a huge amount of people that do actually play this game, team up, and like go through the map like as a
Yeah.
team. So you could do solo or a team. It's up to like whatever you want to do, like what type of player or gamer you are.
Yeah, and I mean, like from what I've heard from Dave, like he kind of has different styles depending on who he plays with, right? So like if he
Mhm.
plays with one person, they're going in and just killing anything that they see. Meanwhile, the others, like the other people that he can play with, they're going in playing like strategically, trying to form, momentary bonds and things like that. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it sounds unique enough.
I think that that's one thing, and I guess like Johnny could speak to it or Gabe, since if it's still if they're from what I've heard is it's kind of the zeitgeist has shifted a little bit because I guess they're doing like a reset of like some stats coming up, so people are a little bit more cutthroat because they're trying to
Yeah.
hoard some materials or something like that. But if I could like be like not promised because it kind of ruined the game if it was promised that other people wouldn't attack you. But if it's like still like very much like the environment is like a lot of people aren't attacking you
Mhm.
more often than not, I might be more likely to like give it a shot in the next couple months.
I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
good because it's like this way, like it's good that you can actually see the people. You can like somewhat tags them as well, and there's the environment and the maps are so big, you can actually get away from people and like whether it's like you know other players or like and the NPC like AI going after you. Like there's like areas and pockets where it's like you can hide away and do your own kind of thing, do your scavenging and shit like that.
I mean, I'm semi convinced enough to maybe give it a shot sometime.
Adam was the big reason why I never did give it a shot.
Absolutely.
Johnny Adam did text me yesterday and was
Yeah,
like, "So, are you still wanting to play Arc Raiders?"
maybe in 2026.
I
Yeah.
know, maybe.
It's on sale. I was not going to pay the full 40.
You know,
What is it? Is it on sale for 36?
It's like 31.99. Thank you.
Okay, so it's
they
20% off.
like they should have like at least put it like on one of like things, either like Game Pass or like PlayStation Plus, like
I could
Yeah.
to get
absolutely
people in there.
I could absolutely see coming up because I
Mhm.
feel like Xbox and PlayStation don't advertise it as well, but they do a lot of like free play days.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I could see if like coming up in the next month or two, like they have an Art
Hmm.
Raiders free play day, I would absolutely give it
Yeah.
a shot.
Yeah.
Are there microtransactions? Like,
For like cosmetic shit, but you can earn in-game currency just like Helldivers do. Just grind
okay.
it out and get like in-game currency, and like the skins are okay. Like some of them are like like way out there, like fucking post-apocalyptic, like weird sci-fi looking shit. And there's like
Sure.
ones where it's like it's a fucking hazmat suit because of the
Oh,
radioactive lore of it.
All right.
got it. Got it. All right.
All right. I think Adam, we're on to your number nine. Yeah.
My number nine, I know is on nobody's list. I'm surprised it's on mine. Ball X Pit. Ball Pit, I guess, as people call it. Like I said, there's video games on my list right here. And Ball Pit is a video game. And Ball Pit is one of those that people that have probably listened to this podcast or people that are on this podcast that I vehemently said I don't really want to fucking play. It doesn't look like something I'd want to sit and do. I did it.
In fact, I remember specifically when I described playing ball pit, you said almost the exact words of "You have convinced me not to try this game." And here we are.
Here we are.
It is on Game Pass, so that's
It's on Game Pass.
you playing on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Got
Um, I have played so much Ball Pit that I have 3 achievements left,
Hmm.
and I'm not going to chase them because one of them is completing the encyclopedia, another one is making some super duper go fuck yourself passive thing, and I cannot recall what the other one is right now, and I don't give a shit. Um, what a fucking weird thing, right? Like it's Brick Breaker for adults with some not so much RPG kind of stuff, but like in between the parts where you're playing Brick Breaker, you're building a town. And I think for so long of this game, like when I was playing it, like hours of playing it, I was like, I don't care about the
Mm.
fucking town. I don't want to do the town. I don't want to build the town. I don't want to build buildings because then you harvest with heavy air quotes around it, like you harvest things from your town. So, like, some
Mhm.
of that is resources, or if you build a building, or if you upgrade a building, you also have to make sure that when you shoot your people, they hit those. So, like, The only way that you're actually making things is if you have a good enough harvest that they hit all the buildings that you're making. And then some of those like are resource buildings, so you assign a character to it. That way they actually like build your or like they get your resources. The other ones are stat buildings. So like you increase your power, your speed, all of that with these buildings. All the while you're also trying to expand the size of your map in town. And for a while there, like I had a decent setup where like I had two solid rows. Like one side was all the harvest stuff that I had assigned people to. The other side was like functionally the city part of what I was building. So like I built them in two columns. That way, when I fucking shot my people to harvest in that area, like they would just bounce off of all of the buildings so I could build the buildings faster. Like I learned how to get that part down. But then there's a part like I don't know, a few hours in or a few levels in where you unlock something that allows you to take two characters into a map at a given time. And Elliot and Lily made fun of me for a little bit that day because like I had to go pick my wife up from the airport and I unlocked a character or I unlocked two characters that morning where like one plays it like a turn-based game. So every time that you shot your ball, like your ball would go and do all the things your ball needed to do, your character kind of stops. Like your enemies, I think, kept moving, but like your balls are still going wild. And then you wait until they come back, and then you just kind of strategically, I guess, choose where you want to shoot your next set of balls. Um, and then I unlocked a character that literally plays the game for you. So before that, you unlock a character who just makes all the choices of upgrades for you, and then goes and just like you play the game, but like it picks your upgrades. Well, this one literally plays the game, like moves, shoots, picks upgrades, all of that. So my first run through after that, like I put that character with the turn-based one, which like the turn-based one I thought was neat enough. Like it was niche for this kind of thing where it's just like, hey, I'm not just shooting. I'm also just like thinking and sitting a little bit, thinking in so much of where do I shoot these next balls. So I put those two together and like they did not fucking die. Like they cleared every fucking level themselves in fucking an hour ish. And I mean, like it was one of those, like they said, like you're not even playing a game. It's like you're right, I'm not. But like now I can set this thing to run. I'm gonna go shower. I'm gonna go do dishes. I'm gonna fold laundry. I'm gonna take out trash. Like I'm gonna do all of these little things that I need to do. Meanwhile, numbers go up. And I think like it was after that, like something just kind of triggered in my brain where it was like, ball pit can play itself, but now I want to play more ball pit. Like I want to do more of this. And like if there was conversation or something happening in the room, sometimes I'd start a run with the guy that would play it for you. And it's just like, just go forth and prosper. That's fine. I'll sit here and actively engage in something else while I know that this is happening. Um, but like the combinations of players, right? Like there's one character in there that where they bounce the ball. There's another character that on the other side of it can shoot balls from the back of the screen. Like there were combinations that I was coming up with that I think really shaped how I felt about ball pit. It kind of went from just being like, hey, you're shooting balls and stuff kind of dies and you're gonna do a roguelike thing and you go back and you have and you come back in and you do it all over again. But like once I unlocked that two character thing and I could actually choose what the fuck like I wanted, like I was making combinations that felt good. That's when ball pit triggered the thing in my brain that was like, I like this game a lot more than I think I originally wanted to give it potential for.
Yeah. And I think, I initially played it right when it came out. Like, there's some I had to step away from it. I don't know if you mentioned this, but there's definitely Vampire Survivors aspects to it of a lot of
Oh,
the ways that you collect and upgrades and stuff like that. And a big thing I didn't like on Vampire Survivors was you had this huge open map and you had to go around and collect the upgrade and stuff. And I'd always feel like I've been like, oh, well, the enemies are sectioning me off. I have to go this way and I'm missing out on the
yeah.
upgrades. Ball Pit isn't, I mean, sometimes that happens a little bit depending on how you're moving. But it didn't happen that, but it's more contained. So I thought I'd like it. It just didn't click with me.
Sure.
And I think a big part of it was like one thing that really frustrated me was like, you might have a run where you feel like God. Like there was like a run, the
Yeah.
first time I cleared a level, it's like nobody touched me. Like I dominated. And then the very next run, I like you could just and again, it's kind of like almost like the Elden Ring Night Rain thing of like you can sometimes feel when a run is doomed
Yeah.
and these are a lot quicker, but I still didn't like that feeling of it felt like, and again, back to RNG, it felt like sometimes, especially early on, like there's no chance of winning, which didn't feel great. And that
Right.
would just kind of made me bounce off. But I get why it could be super, super addictive. I think you should go for those final three achievements. Fuck it.
Absolutely not. Uh, like the second to last episode level is one of those. Like the hallway that you're going down is much tighter. It's throwing much more at you. You start running into enemies that can heal other enemies. Like that was one of those where I kind of hit that MMO level of I need to go back and level up a little bit, or like the RPG thing where it's like I need to go back and level up a little bit and just do maybe the level right before it a few more times with these characters. Um, but then like after I beat the game and to like fully beat the game, quote unquote, it wants you to beat it with I think 8 characters. So when you have that thing that you can double up characters, like you basically have to finish the last level 4 times with like 4 different sets of 2 characters. So it didn't take too long. Like I had some that were decently leveled up, but then after I finished it, like taking an over level character into the first level, for instance, with a very low level character, fucking demolish everything, right? Like it is that sense of power of I have a very strong high level character, and high level was like 15. Like it wasn't anything crazy, but like compared to my level 2 characters, this thing was going in here and cleaning up shop. Like that, and that's where a lot of that combination came in. Where like I know how to play these levels, I know what the bosses are, I know what's coming when, or what kind of environmental um, difficulties there might be. So it just really, like I said, like it just really clicked. And I am surprised that a game like Ball Pit is going to live on my list for 2025, but I am fucking fine with that. It is an experience that I think if you have an hour, right, like you can clear 10 runs or you can clear 4 runs, right? Like a full level basically runs 15 minutes. If you just make it all the way to the end boss, it's like 10 to 15 minutes, depending on which one you pick. If you have an hour, just set aside that time and do a couple runs. And if it fucks with you, it fucks with you. If you don't like it, move on. It's an hour. It's free on Game Pass, like Elliot said. Like I thought that this was going to be an hour for me, to turn out to be much more. And like once you start evolving the balls, right? Like it's fucking you just talk about balls all the time. Your balls are evolved, you fuse your balls, you got baby balls, you got big balls. And I like once you start finding the good combinations between those and then the evolutions that come from those, I think is what really made it cool as shit. Cause like it gives you the option every now and then you can just evolve your balls, you can fuse balls, and then sometimes if you have a combination of balls that go well together, like 2 balls specifically, if you got 2 balls, you can evolve them. And like those were cool as shit. And those were a few of the achievements I've got. Like one of them I didn't even mean to do where I made a fucking atomic bomb and it popped up with an achievement. And then I was like, yeah, no, based on the damage that I'm doing and the fucking mayhem that's here, that's an achievement right there. So bump it.
All right. Moving along, we are now ready. What are we at? Number eight.
Hmm.
Hey,
This one's going to be a fun one.
Boy.
My number eight game is And Roger. Um,
fuck you. Not even respectfully.
so this is a game that both Adam and I have played. Adam very much, it's not even that it wasn't top 10 worthy. I think Adam very much did not like this game. Um, so this game is a very short game. And I mean, it's like an hour long. I looked right now. It's normally $5. It's on sale for $4 on Steam and Switch. And it is just a game that impacted me so emotionally and so strongly that like I couldn't leave it off of this top 10 list. Um, so I have to spoil this game to talk about it. So
Yeah.
if you are wanting to play it, I don't know, skip ahead a few minutes. It won't take that long to talk about, but when and Roger, so it is just like it's almost like WarioWare style, like just a set of like different mini games, and like the gameplay is good. Like I liked the gameplay a lot. I know it's the same style as another game called Florence, which I still have not played. I have it on my phone. I need to play it. Um, but at the beginning of
This
the
bitch.
game, you are led to believe that you are like this like child. You're led to believe it's a horror game. You're this child that's in captivity by this person that you don't know, and you're wondering
Yeah.
where your person is and stuff like that. And you're trying to get out. You're trying to escape, and that's the first 10 minutes of an hour-long game. Well, you quickly learn that you are not actually a child, but you are an elderly woman who has some form of dementia. And so then it plays out as you are varying degrees of awareness of who your caretaker is, who it turns out to be your husband, and varying degrees of what you can do. And like, there's one time when you are, what I think you were like trying to do laundry,
Yeah.
and you are doing the mini game to do the laundry, and you're like, you do it, and then, but I think it's like something like it's been a while since I played, like you messed it up, you put something wrong in the laundry and like completely and
Well,
totally screwed
I
it up.
think there's a moment in there where the puzzle starts to skew
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, and another one is I know it's like you're walking up front steps and the mini game to walk up the steps is easy, but then as it goes, as you're walking up the steps, it gets harder and harder until it gets impossible. And it's just doing this job of like of simulating like what it could be. And again, like nobody knows exactly because if you have dementia, you don't have the capability to think about or make a video game necessarily. What the fuck was that?
Sorry.
Um, but it was just like it hit me so hard. Like when I found out what it was, and like I had someone that's pretty close to me whose family member had just went through that, and like it hit me so hard. And it's like I have never I was wearing glasses when I was playing it. I was sobbing so hard that I had to like stop and like clean my glasses off because I fogged my glasses up so much. It just like
Just
emotionally
tears,
hit me. Just
tears shooting out, not
it's
streaming down. They're just out.
it's literally like very much like anime style, like but yeah, it's just it was such a good, impactful game for me where it's like if I would have played Florence or if I would have, had a different mindset or like it was just the perfect set of circumstances when I played this game. And I think I had texted Adam and I was like, I think this game is like really amazing, but I feel like almost bad being like, I like this game more than some games that I've put 40 hours in. And Adam, this is before you played it. You probably wish you wouldn't have said this. You said, fuck it. That's your experience. Like, that's how you feel. So, Adam, you are the reason that this is on my list. You can thank yourself.
Hell yeah.
Um, but yeah,
I mean, I still stand by that. I think a lot of the sentiments behind and Roger are good.
yeah,
I've just played this before and I
yeah,
liked that much better.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's a great game. And I mean, it's $5. It was
Yeah.
really cheap, really short. I loved it. I've been meaning to play Florence. I need to play Florence. I have it on my phone. Maybe I will do that soon. But yeah. Okay.
You know what? We'll go this
Yes.
far. As much as I don't fucking like and Roger, if
Ooh,
anybody actually has the gumption enough to email in, I will buy you a copy of And Roger.
there you go. Wow.
It's
$4.
$5. But
Five
on
Okay.
top
dollars.
of that comes the responsibility that you as a listener and possible player of And Roger has, where you need to also then yourself go buy Florence and play that first.
Which I think Florence is either 199 or 299
Yeah.
on phones.
I mean, I
Okay.
played Florence on my fucking cell phone 5 years ago at this point and still remember my wife was asleep. And I remember the fucking quiet goddamn sobbing that I did as I was getting closer to finishing Florence.
Hmm.
And it's not that And Roger was emotionally ineffectual. It is very good at what it does. I just don't think it did it. it didn't do it in the way that I would have wanted, right? Like I don't want to say that it was bad. It just didn't do it in the way that I would have wanted.
Hmm.
And honestly, as a player of video games, there was some weird religious stuff that started happening throughout this game out of nowhere that I was like, why is this here? And I think that also just kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I am not a very religious person anymore. So that kind of came out of nowhere, and I kind of just didn't know exactly what it wanted to do with that. And I feel
Hmm.
like the game itself kind of didn't know what to do with that. But like Elliot, you talked about the husband, and I think there's moments of this game where coming off at the beginning, the dad returns to the story, right? Like
Hmm.
the father figure was the one in the beginning.
Hmm.
And I think when he gets a reintroduction into the story, is kind of where I thought, oh shit, like this is going to start doing some cool things now, like quote unquote cool things, like emotions are fucking cool. And like it's going to start spinning things in ways that I would have thought differently about or anything like that. Like, but it's like, hey, big plot thing. And then just kind of like, okay, well, are we going to do dinner now? Which I guess is fine. Like, that's pretty realistic, but I would have just hoped for a little bit more. I think, and Roger maybe would have stuck with me if it were like, 30 minutes to an hour longer. Like it's not a long experience. It's maybe a 2 hour experience, if that. And I'm just thinking like there could have maybe been a little more.
Hmm.
But like looking at Florence, right? Like unless you're an incel, apologies if you're a listener and an incel, go away. We don't want you here. Go back to your basement where your mom keeps you. But like it's about relationships, and most of us that are our age, 30s plus, have had a relationship and
Hmm.
know what it's like when a relationship gets severed. Like that is a lived experience for
Hmm.
me. Like that is
Hmm.
personally, I have been through a Florence thing. And I'm not saying like I need dementia to have resonation with and Roger, but and Roger at a lot of the points of its story just seemed like, what if this, what if this, what if this, and then this, and then this, and it kind of kept pulling at things that I don't know if necessarily for me just sat right. Like, and I'm even going to remove Florence from that. Like, I loved it. The puzzles were there, but just something was not great.
All right. Well, that's my number eight. Johnny.
Number eight, Ocho. All right, Skate Story. Uh, it for that game, it feels like what if Stanley Kubrick made a skateboarding film? That's what it kind of borders on. Quirky story. You're a demon. You want to eat the fucking moon. In the process, you do so. It backfires, and you just kind of get delved into this like odd world where skateboarding is the way to like escape and fight back. And why it's number eight, because it made me fall in love with like going back into the times of like the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It had it's similar feels, similar like physics of it as well, where it's like you're not gonna make like super crazy fucking tricks and shit like that. You gotta time it, you need speed. The control scheme is different, not different, not bad, different, good in its own way, where it's using the trigger buttons to kind of like land tricks with the face buttons. Um, that primarily why it's like so on that on part of my list, where it's like it made me fall in love with skateboarding games once again. I haven't played since like fucking I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 back in the like, what was it, PS2 days, and it's been a long time since I've like re-entered it. Like I've tried the other games where like Skate and shit like that. Original Skate, not this new one. And
Yeah.
it didn't hit right. This one hits right. This one um feels that like how a skateboard game should feel when you're playing when you're using the controls, and also has like this ASMR like element where it's like the tricks, the way the wheels clash onto the concrete or the ground, the way your character breaks into a million pieces because you're like made of glass. It just makes you like want to like keep going. It doesn't frustrate you. Like the sound of the game doesn't let you like get frustrated if you fuck up a fail on a trick or on a run in a level. And it makes it like addictive. So it's like, all right, what else can I do with this game? Like, what else can I like, um, tricks can I land on this? How else can I grind on certain areas of the level? And it's an all around like fun, somewhat dark skateboarding game, that just like makes you want to like continue and keep going with it.
I started it. It's one that I
Mm,
know I need to go back to. I really thought the skating part of the skating game
yeah.
was good. And I think where I left off was basically like right where you get your first two, as you said, like shoulder button kind of tricks.
Hmm.
And I feel like right now, with as far as I was into it, like I'd probably be better off restarting or just looking at the controls because I don't remember which does which. It seemed cool as hell. Like it
Yeah.
seemed like it had a fucking aesthetic to it that definitely would have resonated with me of all things. Like I think just bad time, bad place, but like it's on all the services. I think
Hmm.
it's at least on PlayStation Plus. So I definitely want to return to this.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like there's way too many games and you just didn't have enough time to like go more into it, kind of thing. It's just the curse of like this past year.
Well, I'm glad to see it on your list. It's definitely going to be a motivator,
Hmm.
kind of maybe like Arc Raiders, to get me to want to play more.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But but
Yeah.
you don't want to play Citizen Sleeper 2, even though that was an honorable
Uh,
mention of mine.
no,
Wow. Wow.
at most I will give you Final Fantasy Tactics just because you didn't recommend it to me.
All right, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is Outer Worlds 2.
Okay, tell us.
All right. All right. I'm not surprised. I'm mildly surprised.
It was
Um,
it was my number 13.
sure.
So close.
I think as much as I complained about this game, Outer Worlds 2 really does the RPG things right. And it is not quite enough as a game that's higher that makes me want to go back and maybe do another run. But I am glad that Outer Worlds 2 does exist. And I think it does do some things better than the first game, but not all of them. Um, the RPG aspects like that, I like, the aspects of a game that I've talked about on here where I could just talk my way out of things or explore and just take in a world. Like this game does fucking nail that. I will say that I wish there was maybe a bit more diversity between worlds. But I think like it's fine. I mean, it did everything that I wanted to because combat's not a part of that. Like it did everything that I wanted to on the other side. Okay enough to exist on this list. Like combat's kind of boring. Combat is just your standard Western RPG where you have a gun and you go and shoot things and numbers go up and health goes down. Like it's that kind of game. Like it is just more Outer Worlds. It's more Fallout, basically, if I wanted to say that, like after Fallout 3. But like I do love this world. I love this fucking satire of a highly consumer world. Like it's just all about that and how detrimental that can be. And I it's not necessarily as much of a commentary now as it felt like it was maybe a few years ago. And I don't know if that just comes from the fact that it's been done twice or like, hey, it's a tariff year and we're used to prices being up and everything sucks and I don't want to buy things. So I don't know which part of that like didn't really hit harder if it was the characterization of that faction, but it was still good. Like I think Outer Worlds 2 was enough of an increase from what they had previously done. And I would sign on for more of these. I am fucking here for all of these first person, third person Western RPGs that Obsidian wants to make and these heavy, heavy fucking satirical places because we'll get to one later that's pretty much that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I very much enjoyed this game. I think, we've both, or we talked about this um somewhat recently on the podcast. Like there was a time towards the beginning of this game that it was tracking for my top 5. And
Yeah.
then the game kept going. I
Hmm.
thought it was very cool that I think of, I don't know, like 7, 8 big like bosses in the game. I think I talked my way out of fighting almost all of them,
Right.
including the final boss, which I still don't know how I did it because I looked back on like the guide after I did it because I was like, oh shit, what did I do? And all of the guides said like, oh no, you have to hit all of these checks. Well, I just kind of
Right.
bumbled my way through and like literally convinced the final boss, like, oh no, what you're doing is wrong. And they're like, oh shit, you're right. I was wrong. And I think that is so cool that you can do it in that. But it just got pretty repetitive. What you're doing, the fighting, um, I ended up eventually just sticking with one gun and I just crafted a shit ton of ammo and went through the last like third of the game with that one gun. So I think I don't know if and it's not even that long of a game, but I feel like if it was shorter or more, I don't even know like what could change to make those last parts not drag, but it's a good game. I think Adam and I are probably both thinking of the same similar type game that will be talked about a little bit later. Um, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed, and it was at one point on my top 10, and then other things pushed it down, like I said, to
Yeah.
number 13.
I like my big hope for the next one because they did have this in the first one, and a lot of RPGs have this. Bring back the clothes that give stat boost. Like there was none of that
Mm.
here, and I think that does kind of do a detriment to some of this stuff because those are sometimes your saving grace where it's like you've got 7 on a stat, but hey, if you put on these specific glasses, you'd have 10 on that stat, and that 10 is what you need to get this conversation to go the way that you want it to. Like that is my one hope, and I really do want more diversity. So if they can do that, like diversity in the maps and not really waste 2 zones or locations that you visit as like small cities or big cities, like if you do that, you still need to give me enough other things to do because I don't want to just run around and talk to people. That's fine if I have other concessions to be able to do that. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to another one. I hope there is another one. Well, what's your number 7, Elliot?
All right, my number 7 is Lies of P Overture.
Hell yeah.
So, Lies of P was a couple of years ago was my number 2 game. It would have been my number game if a little game called Alan Wake 2 did not exist. So Lies of P is and I haven't played a ton of Souls likes, but I know a lot of people that are big Souls people say like it's one of the best ones. It's not made by FromSoft.
Right.
Um, Lies of P was really great in the atmosphere of the original game, really great in the atmosphere, really great in the combat and stuff like that. But the story itself of Lies of P, while it was a decent story, you were just such a passive like you were watching this bigger story unfold and you just happened to be like you were literal I mean Liza P for Pinocchio, you were literally a puppet that was sent to do all of these things and you were just going
Yeah.
along with the story. Liza P Overture is the DLC for that game and it actually takes place before the game. You're like transported back. You have to progress 2/3 of the way through the game, so I had to replay the base game to get to this. And it is kind of telling the story of like what happened before the game in a lot of different ways. And it's a much more emotional, stronger story with some really cool environments, some really cool weapons. And one thing that I personally think was really cool was when this game came out, when the DLC came out, they introduced difficulty levels for the DLC and the base game. The base game is a very, very difficult game. Some of the bosses, took in very Souls-like fashion, took 10, 20, even 30 tries. So it was nice to be able to change the difficulty up and down in the DLC. I put my time in on the base game, like doing all that stuff. The DLC, I just wanted to knock the difficulty down, and it still was pretty tough it wasn't a walk in the park on the easiest difficulty, but it was just more of what made that game great, but even better. Liza P Overture is the best parts of Liza P, which was already one of my favorite games of that year. Combined, those two, Liza P and Liza P Overture, I have to go back and I need to play through it again when I have time. Like it might be one of my favorite games. of all time. Like it's that
Oh yeah.
good. It makes me so excited for what the studio does next. The end of Liza P really hints at some very cool things moving forward. Liza P Overture doesn't expand on that at all, which I kind of like that you don't need to know Liza P Overture to know what's coming next, but you feel a lot more. Like there's one character like Adam, specifically like the guy that does all the riddles that you answer on the phone.
Yeah.
Um, he is the villain in Liza P Overture. Like
Okay.
that guy,
I
like
like that.
where he got to that point and stuff like that, he's a villain and he is a creepy ass villain. This is darker. This is it kind of borders more on horror in some aspects than the first game, which is usually not my thing, but with like the Liza P style, it fit. Like it's just a
Right.
very fun game. And Adam, I really recommend you find a way to go back and play it. I know we both played the original Liza P when it was on Game Pass. Now it's not on Game Pass plus the DLC, kind of a lot to ask, but I replayed it on PlayStation because it was on sale and it's just it was so much fun. Like I said, the best part, it is some of the best parts of one of my favorite games from a couple of years ago.
I'll have to look it up. I know that there's a bundle that also they've got. So
I think one of the negatives of it is, and this was the way with Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, with I guess with a lot of Souls likes is to get to the point of being able to play the DLC, you have to progress a certain part through the story. And a lot of times, when you get to the end of those games, you want to try a new game plus. You want to try out doing it in different ways and stuff like that. If you try this on a new game plus, then it's going to make the DLC even harder than it should be. So it's kind of like I kind of wish like when you start the DLC, you could have been like, do you want to play it on the new game plus difficulty or on your regular one? But then again, that might have been hard to go back and forth. So I was a little frustrated at first that I had to go back and replay the base game to get to that point because my save file was halfway through the new game plus. But I ended up really enjoying going back and playing through with the skills that I had from the end of the game. When there were some bosses I fought and really struggled with the first time I played through Liza P that I just breezed through, and that was before the difficulty changes had came out. That I just breezed through on my second playthrough. So great game. If you've played Liza P, there's like so a lot of times you'll play a game and love it and you won't even worry about the DLC. This is a must play if you liked the original Liza P.
nice. I love it. I love to see it here.
Johnny.
All right, number seven, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Has anybody got there? Unless,
Nope.
nah, okay, all right. So why it's number seven? It's the game of like yesteryear with new graphical updates and control schemes. For old heads, it's a great way to revisit without feeling like the struggle and like maybe I didn't mind like the graphics because I thought at the time it was like pretty high up there for especially for like a PlayStation 2 game. For newcomers, I think it's great because it's a jumping off point for them. It's a prequel. It's very James Bond-esque with its like action and music and the zaniness of like the gadgets that you get
Yeah.
along like this sort of like future retro aspects of it. Um, I I thought like maybe like Fox Hunt, the online part should have been with its initial release. I think the whole point of
Sure.
like making it later and being very like I don't know, tight-lipped about it and not like giving the public information kind of made it like a flash in the pan because at one point a lot of people jumped in on it, they played it. You can only have like a team of two, unfortunately. You can like somewhat invite people into like your own like kind of like battle room and like be able to like hone the skills and like whatever you got to do. Uh, try out all the weaponry. So this way, when you go into the game, you know what you're going to do, you know where your loadout's going to be. If that was like with his initial release, I think maybe a different story. Maybe people like be continuing to play it. Feel like it's gone down a lot. Whereas like it's only really like the diehards who are like the fans of the series are like keeping it going, keeping it alive. Um, it's seven for me because like I've been there, I've done it, I lived it.
Right.
Um, Somewhat of the promises of like the past, like we didn't get from the original game because of the limitations of the system, is brought to this one. It's like, all right, now you can definitely do what you always wanted to do. Not like Hitman-esque. I feel like maybe it was like kind of hinted at that time to be somewhat similar to it. It's like, oh, you can go through these like areas and do however you wanted to do it, but it
Yeah.
wasn't really the case. It's very linear. This one's like, all right, do however you wanted to do it. It's free for all. Go in there, shoot it out, sneak, stealth, whatever you want to do. It's much more manageable now. Looks great. You could definitely tell like the voice acting's like, all right, this shit's from the past. Maybe a couple of things here and there where it's like it's just like the sounds of like grunting or noise making or like breathing has been updated because they did mention like they went in to like do shit for like the voiceover work. They Cynthia Orell like redid the music, which I don't have like I have like the volume one collection, so I'm not gonna like be like one of those people like let me do a side by side comparison and see how it was back then versus today. Because you know what, I listened to it, it's like fucking great as I remembered in my mind. It's
Yes.
like
Yes.
maybe like sound wise better. Um, but other than that, it's like I like the fact that we have this because it doesn't let it like the series die off. Like within a 10-year gap, there was nothing
Right.
before this. I mean, we had the Master Collection, but it's like we can kind of like play these games already. Like we already had like access per se, because like if you had it in the store before they delisted this shit, you already had it for most of it. And I think I'm hoping that like we get more out of it from Konami. Like give us volume two, give us like the games are like stuck on PS3, like give us four, give us games that people possibly never even tried, like the PSP games. Like, maybe some people might want to play Acid 2. Maybe some people want to play Portable Ops. Maybe people should play fucking Peace Walker, as it's like that's a pretty major like game within like the whole of the franchise as well, like to tie in with Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain. So I take it as like a positive thing from Konami that like maybe we'll get some more out of it. The part that sucks is that like this whole repackaged game. I don't know how it is like for voice actors, but like no one got a dime after this regarding other voice talent. I don't know about the main people like David Hayter and like I'm blanking on her name, voice of Eva. It's
Jody
not.
Benson.
Yes, it's which they still have Suzette Minier. Like, why would you have that? Like, it's odd. Like, we already announced it, but I guess I don't know. Whatever. That's my number seven. It's
Yeah.
hopefully a positive outlook for the future of the series.
Yeah, it for a while it was up until like last week when I was really sitting down and going through it was on my it was like my number 8 or 9 and I moved it down. It's like I have all of my games ranked. It's like my number 12.
Mm,
I loved playing it. I loved going back through it. It had been a while. I think what knocked it down for me is this should not be a full price game for
Right.
what it didn't do. Um, to update things. It shouldn't be a full price game. And that, the Fox Hunt should have been like, I didn't have a desire to go back in when they put it back in, like around
yeah,
how, wasn't it like on Halloween it came out or something like that?
I think so.
Um, but it's like, I really, really enjoyed going back. But like I said, when I talked about it or when we talked about it when it came out, like there were certain parts of that game I hadn't played it like in a decade. There are certain parts of that game that I just
Mm,
completely forgot about. Like in my mind, it was Volgan fight, boss fight, and nothing in between. And that's not the
mm.
case. There's, the whole like
Talking
Ava's
about
hurt,
The
Chase.
escort
yeah, all
mission,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I remembered the chase part. I thought it was like Vulcan chase boss, but it's like, oh, there's a little bit more. But no, I'm very intrigued to see where they go from here
Hmm.
on the next thing. I really do think that they're going to do something new with Metal Gear, and I think it'll be interesting to see what people's reactions are on that. But I don't know.
I mean, the thing for this, for a lot of us fucking old people, is going back into this was kind of like seeing the code of the Matrix.
Hmm.
right, Johnny? Like you mentioned, basically
Yeah.
playing it the way that you want. And a lot of us can now. And first timers really just think that it's a linear, like more linear until they reach specific zones, right? Like they just think that it's go through, kill this guy, get out.
Hmm.
Like, no, you can not maybe kill that guy and still get out, but find things along the way that you would actually find resourceful. But like most of us know where those things are or how to find them. And I think, Elliot already said shouldn't have been $70. I would be
Yeah,
fine
no.
with more remakes. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm ready for a Metal Gear without Kojima. And I know that it's been 10 years, so I can get the fuck over it, but I don't necessarily know if making one remake really just sells that. So I guess we'll see, but like game does look really good.
Hmm.
Game
Mhm.
does feel really good.
Yep.
The problem there being if they were to make another Metal Gear that feels just like this, not so good. Like if you did another remake, that's cool. But if you were to follow up fucking Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes with something that just feels like this, please don't. Like
Yeah.
the Phantom Pain was such an incredible game to play. So that's kind of where my fear is.
Hmm.
But I mean, I think number 7 is a great spot for this, really. So the more I sat and thought, the more I thought, yeah, this belongs on here. I mean, I sunk a lot of time into Adamfall. I apparently am just a slut for the Western RPGs that are in first person, I guess. But Adamfall, I think, added some different things that haven't been around for a while. Like it doesn't necessarily spell out every little thing that you have to do. Um, it felt good. Like I don't think I ever ran into very many instances of glitches or things like that. It was a good representation of immersive sims at the same time. You can't necessarily go pick up every bottle or every carrot or thing that you find, but like it does have that sense of discovery where if you found something or did something before a character tells you to do it, you do override that. The central hub itself did kind of suck. Like the fact that you have to keep coming back to this place to do your main quest doesn't necessarily feel great, but it does have signs of, hey, small team doing something different, right? Like this is the sniper elite team doing something very different from that. And to do it successfully in this way, I think is cool as shit. This game has, I think, six, 5 or 6 different endings, really. And I wish I had it in me to go back and do them all, but they're all so obvious that like who you need to side with to get a specific ending. And there are parts of this game that I know I made fun of. No, I did have the glitch, right? Where like the old lady just kind of walked out, but I think that might be a part of it. But she did glitch and just stopped walking. I could be false on that. I can't recall. I know I talked about that instance on here, but I did execute the old lady just because
Hmm.
she was taking her time. Uh, just cool. Like it's one of those games that I would like to see more of. It was semi-realistic, like it's based in the UK off of a real incident that happened, and just kind of follows suit. Like it was a very good, grounded, semi-sci-fi world that I could fuck with. I mean, it wasn't necessarily like the world isn't post-apocalyptic, but this zone that you're a part of is post-apocalyptic, and like clans have formed and factions have been made and it's just a cover-up story essentially is what it turns out to be of the government wanting to keep this little small place hidden and the way that you get there and the characters that you meet or the characters that you don't meet or the characters that you kill, like just good stuff.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm really, I said at the beginning of this that I thought I could probably guess all of your top 10, and
Hmm.
I stand corrected because I did not think like of this game at all. So that's kind of a surprise. I think maybe you liked this because it's almost like it's saying your name, Adam Fall.
That's true. That is why. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
um no, like I really didn't expect it to be here, but looking at games that I had played and especially games that I finished, I think come the end of Adamfall, I had this really push pull relationship with it, but like overall, I could fuck with it a lot more than other games, and it probably could have been higher, like no higher, sorry, like it could have been lower on my list, and the fact that like it could have been 10, and I would have been fine with that. but it is one of those games that I hope they make more of. And I think, I guess, really, like my list so far is just like make more of these, and I'll be happy. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's awesome. Well, all right, so moving on, we're my number six. It's funny that we spent so much time, or multiple like reiterated the way that this will work, that we will pause and talk about something later if it's higher on the list, and so far that has not happened.
Not one time.
I have a feeling it's going to change right now
Okay.
because my number six is Avowed.
Yeah, I got a little higher.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. All right. This one won't be on anyone's list. Number six. Okay. Exit 8, the Switch 2 edition. I know this game came out beforehand, but I've never touched it. I didn't even know about it until I think either one of you guys mentioned like it was having a movie on our chat, and I was like, "What is this thing? Let me go check it out."
Yeah.
It is, I feel like for me, is the most addictive, minimalistic puzzle game. First person view. The game uses like audio cues, environmental changes, even lighting to kind of give you hints. Are you progressing or regressing? It's one of the games like I played a lot on the Switch too. I know like I probably joke about like I barely touch it, but this is actually one of the ones like I actually do play it on the Switch too, especially with my daughter. I'll dock it on her TV and she will literally help me as we go through the game. She'll notice things maybe I don't see. It's something that we'll play together, like kind of like reminiscing as if like I was going like in my childhood playing with my little brother kind of feel, but with my daughter. Um, and even if like I'll fuck up and go back to like, oh shit, I messed up. I'm back to like basically literally uh back from like exit 8 to like try to get to like 1. I was like, shit, I missed something. What the fuck did I fuck up? Let me go back. It doesn't frustrate you. It makes you, it kind of, for me, it feels me like, oh shit, what did I miss? Like, what did I not do properly to continue and finish this out? It does, I love the fact that it does a fake out where you think like, oh shit, it's like, this is it. I've beat the game. Like, nope, you get to like an actual platform. It's like, oh, white screen, back to like on the subway platform again. Once again, like try to figure it out, try to like get through this game, and it's one of those ones where it's like I didn't see myself like going like, oh shit, I'm gonna keep playing it over and over again. I've probably lost like I'll say like I'll play an hour, and then like 4 hours have passed by, and I'll look up and I'm like, oh shit. It's like, where did the time go? It's just like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Play for an hour, and or you'll get so sucked in that you'll like fucking forget like how long you've been playing this game. So it's like one of those ones where it's like I'm glad I didn't play it before. I'm glad I'm able to play it now, especially with my daughter, being a dad. It's because like it's hard to like fucking get that main TV. If I'm home and my daughter's home, she's got a main TV. I got a tablet. So that's how it ends up usually happening with me. But yeah, that's why I put it at number 6.
You played that, right, Adam?
Haven't, I've been wanting to.
Mm.
And
I,
it's like $2 most of the time. So this might be
Yeah.
the thing that just pushes me over.
damn, Johnny's list is just recommendations left and right. Definitely
Yeah,
not my style of game. I'm not going to play
Mm,
it. But what was interesting is like, oh, I know that they're making a movie that's going to come out based on that at
mm.
some point. Shit, I didn't realize that movie has already came out in
Yeah.
Japan.
I
I
forgot.
wasn't aware of that, and I think was it Neon picked up the distribution rights and it should come out in the US
Hmm.
soon. So that might be a good way for me to experience that kind of world instead of playing the game is the movie because
sure.
that just sounds like the most not Elliot kind of game ever. Jesus Christ. What if only
Johnny,
the
this isn't like a,
Hmm.
it's not like a long experience, is it?
No, you could. There's people out there. I think they've beaten like the game in maybe like less than an hour, maybe like less than 30 minutes. There's ways around it to like, you just gotta like notice like the certain patterns in the game to get you through the end.
All right,
My,
gotcha.
I was gonna say my dumb ass has come like so close and then fucking up at the end. And I'm like, oh shit, what did
Sure.
I do wrong? And it's like I don't really want to Google it and kind of spoil it for myself. Like I want to try to figure it out on my own.
Well, my number six,
Mhm.
Hell is Us. another game that I probably shit on a little bit on this podcast, but like this game did live up to most of its promises. And I think somewhere out there it was said like, hey, there's little mini markers. There's really not. Like I think this game does well at just telling you a direction or giving you a vague description and you go find it. Combat's not great, but I mean, again, if I can suffer through it and be fine, like it's not terrible. It's not Souls like. It is, square triangle kind of combos and stuff like that. The world itself, I think, is what really made this game for me. It was so fucking oppressive in so many ways that you can't feel even an ounce of joy, right? And that's my favorite thing in life when you can't feel an ounce of joy. But like, it was cool as you got through the story and you started going back and experiencing things with characters that you had helped really from the beginning hours and go back and see how the things that have happened since then have shaped that location. For instance, like the first person that you meet is a farmer, and somewhere in the story you run along his son. All of his other sons have been killed in this war, but then you find his one single living son. And at that point, it is like your motivation as a player to say, I want to get these two back together. Like, I want to get this father back with his son. And there is a quest path that you can take that does do that. Uh, I I don't necessarily know if I would want more of this specific world. I think this cool style does really work. I mean, it is a Metroidvania through and through, which also really makes it cool as shit because like you're finding keys all over the place amongst the different zones, and then it's like, oh hey, I found this thing here. Now I need to go back over there and slot this in. I don't know. Like I knew that if I played Hell Is Us, it would live on this list, and I'm glad that it did not wholly let me down. I think there's some promises that it wanted to make that it doesn't like didn't necessarily live up to. But how much of that was fan base, right? Like they kept saying, "Oh, Souls like combat." It's not. I mean, it's there's parries, there's dodges, there's stuff like that, but it's not so difficult, and you're not facing unique bosses every zone that you go to or things like that. But I think the labyrinthian style of what this thing had was enough to make it a good 2025 experience. I know that I'm not going to convince anybody here to go play it, but I think like listeners, if you had any interest in Hell Is Us, give it a go.
I was gonna say I just got my copy today.
Oh, damn.
Hey,
Look at that timing.
it's good. Like I think you'll
Hmm.
have a good time.
Yeah, that's definitely, again, both
Hmm.
of your guys' picks here are very much not Elliott games, but
Mm.
I'm happy for you guys that they exist. All right. So let's see if I can continue the trend of not talking about my picks, because my number five is Dispatch.
Yeah, I got higher.
Well, then what's your number five, Johnny?
All right, my number five is the combo Switch 2 with Mario Kart World. All right, so the whole fucking craziness
Oh my
of
God.
the fucking what?
Just the fact that how long had after Switch 2 did it take for you to even play this
I
game?
when the Sonic racing game came out, I need to compare it. What was it, like a month?
Oh,
November, maybe?
yeah,
November,
no, it
possibly?
was, I'll look up Crossworlds. You
Whenever, yeah,
talk.
whenever Crossworlds came out, so the craziness of trying to get this fucking system was like by far where I had fucking I think Best Buy fucked
Sep
me over
end
three
end of
times.
September.
Okay, and
So
just okay,
3 months.
3 months. So fucking Best Buy screwed me over. GameStop came in. I got the system. Why it's number five? Because it's actually got me back into Nintendo, investing heavily into games that I didn't get a chance to play before. Um, like the Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 that came out. I don't remember when it was, but a couple months ago because all these fucking games were like way too like on top of each other. Um, it got me to like play a game that I didn't even have a system for at the time. It's got me like to like share the system with like my family where we're like, we're playing like Just Dance. We're doing all these other things with it. I'm playing with my daughter. She's doing the Princess Peach. Showtime game with I'm doing it with her because there's elements where you can't play it, and going into the Mario Kart world where it's like where it's just I think they're just king supremacy of like that type of racing where it's like I don't think anyone else can try to like touch it to it. They can maybe possibly be second or third place in regards to it. The whole like ability to like grind your like fucking cart onto like rails and shit like that to kind of save you as well in like if you're playing with co-op or playing online. I feel like that's an added element. And just the fact that it's brought me back to like being bringing back like couch co-op gaming with my family and I like for like the first Switch I really like didn't primarily like pay attention to it or play it to like I think like towards the tail end where it's like it was just on sale and I got it for my daughter so she can have like a system to play and this way I can try to get the main TV and it became the opposite where Switch 2 it's like oh shit I got this she got the main TV or she'll just take my Switch 2 and just play her own games like whether it's like Princess Peach Showtime or even the Ghostbusters remastered video game so it's gotten to it's number 5 because it's letting me like play games with my family not just myself, but being able to like enjoy games with my daughter, enjoy games with my wife, who only plays mobile games, which I can't even like how can you do this? Like I can't stare at this phone like for hours on ends. Like, power to you if you can for people who can play on mobile games. But yeah, that's why it's number 5. It's gotten me to like be a gamer daddy, lean into the zaddy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's one.
nice to know that
Good.
number
Mhm.
5 on your list isn't playing with yourself.
My that's one thing I did want to mention that I forgot to when I had
Mhm.
Mario Kart World as my honorable mention is of
Mhm.
all the games I'm talking about today, that's probably the one that moving from this point forward, it's the
Yeah.
one I'll play the most.
Hmm.
Like, 5 years from now, I'll still be playing Mario Kart World, especially as
Yeah.
my daughter gets older. Right now, she doesn't like, she's very anti-competitive. I don't know if that'll
Hmm.
change or not, but so she only wants to play Mario Kart World when she's driving around. But as she gets older and gets a little more comfortable with the competition, I could see that being played more and more. So good game. And
Yeah.
again, like Switch 2, two of the three of us really enjoy having our Switch 2s. It is a now
Hmm.
again, it's not setting the world on fire with its features. I don't think a single person has I haven't heard anybody, even with Metroid Prime 4, talk about the mouse controls. And
Yeah.
like, so none of the features are like great in its newness, other than man, and Adam, you got to feel it when you were here. Dock or putting the Joy Cons on and off is one of the
Hmm.
most satisfying feelings.
Yes.
And that compared to literally thinking I was going to break them. And my Switch One is a little bit
Yeah.
broken. The slides are a little bit broken. It's
Hmm.
nice to that Switch, and it's just it's a good system, and especially like the capability of a Nintendo console being able to play most releases. Like, will we get a Grand Theft Auto 6 on the Switch 2 at some point? We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I still think it's crazy that it's
No.
not. I still think it's crazy it's not going to be on PC. Um, but yeah, Switch 2 good, Mario Kart World good. You'll play it when Dusk Bloods is taking the world by storm. You'll buy one.
Likely. Yeah, I'll have to go buy one. When multiplayer thing comes out on console, that's the console seller for me. It's my favorite type of game. Um, well, for me, number 5 is Elliot's number 6. It is Avowed.
Hey, so close, so close.
Yeah, right there.
We got another chance or two, I imagine.
Maybe.
We do. I
I
think
know
we
I've
will
got
match
one
one.
up there that's not on yours for sure. All right. So, Elliot, go. You didn't get to speak on it, so you go ahead and speak on it.
So Avowed, when it came out, it was very much like the way that they advertised it was just very Skyrim-y, um, first person, uh, medieval fantasy, everything like that. And then when it came out, it was like there are some parts of it that are, yeah, there is that Elder Scrolls feel, things like that. Obsidian did make not Elder Scrolls, but they made Fallout New Vegas, so they have some experience with that, but it feels so different and so singular. with its traversal, with how packed that world is. You can't walk 20 feet without something new. How the parkouring on a first person fantasy game feels so damn good just to jump around and do all that stuff. How abilities can actually make the parkour even better. Like I did a lot of melee combat, and I know you didn't. And one of my melee abilities was that I could shoot across the battlefield, 20 yards, I think is what it said. Or I don't know if it said specifically, but it's like I halfway through the game realized, oh shit, I can use that in tandem with the parkouring to shoot across gaps that I wasn't able to before, when really like the game did factor that in, that you were going to be able to get across these gaps some way or another. Um,
Right.
I've never played a game that made me feel like the fucking juggernaut more than this game, and that's because of my specific play style. Like I dove in and I did everything into melee abilities to where I would see a group of enemies, I would pop basically an equivalent of a shield and an overpower, and I would use that boost and I would slam into the enemies and just start swinging and going like crazy. And the enemies, specifically some of them, would literally fly across the map, and it just felt so good to play. As far as gameplay wise goes, it is one of the best games that I have played this year, of just like feeling so strong. Like I searched out fighting. Like in Outer Worlds 2, when I was going from point A to point B, I would see like, oh, I could fight over here. It's like, well, I hope they don't notice me because I'm just trying to get to point B. This one, it's like, oh, well, they're not going to have the time to notice me because I'm going to go fuck them up. Um, the story was good. I like the story. I like the different options. I like that some of the side quests felt better than the main quest. There's like the one side quest early where you're talking to this like priest that's trying to do this, like create this like robo mech so that one of the elder gods in this universe, in these what Pillars of Eternity universe, can inhabit. And then you have options to side with him or fight him or do this, that. And there's a lot of different things. There's things that I missed where I could have saved a whole city, that Adam, I think you didn't miss it and you were able to do the stuff. So just all this
Right.
different like options, it kind of coalesced into this really, really fun game. And it's a game that I kind of sped through a little bit because I kind of wanted to see where the story was going. When at the end is good. It's fine. It's does the slideshow, the very like, here's what happened. I kind of wish I would have just spent more time in the world and not worried about going through to see the end of the story. Because I think I beat it in maybe two-thirds of the time that you did, maybe half the time that you did, and I feel like I did miss things.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this game was so dense that I think for a person like me, it made it easier, even still, to just go and explore these things, like go and find these places. Um, there's a spot, and I think the second zone where you go and find that they are trying to basically hoard bombs to blow up the city. And I think this is basically the part that you had talked about, like you save the city. But I found that spot before I was even supposed to. And I think that alone is cool enough, like to be able to have that kind of understanding of the world where it's like, if I go in here, there's likely something, anything that will be worthwhile. There's not a lot of dungeons or side stories in this game that don't feel like they were not significant, at least in one way or another. It was not a copy and paste of a Skyrim dungeon, you know, 20 times over. And I love that about this game.
Mhm.
You talked about the combat, this is probably my like best feeling combat wise for these RPGs, really, because it was so crunchy. There was so much weight into everything. And like you said, like you're flying around, like you're still floaty, but each hit actually seems like it has an impact. And there's times where like it slows, that way you can actually see how much you hit something or anything like that. But like playing between a sword or a saber of some sort and a gun, like that was cool. Like what a strange mix. Like that's not really been done since Fable 2, really. And I think to have it here in such a way where you feel impactful was great.
Mhm.
It's got good art. Like I love the art style of this game as well. Like compared to Outer Worlds 2, that just looks like a realistic wannabe sci-fi kind of thing. I loved the semi-animated way. Like this looks like what I would have told myself World of Warcraft would have looked like if they ever made a World of Warcraft 2, right?
Yeah.
Like this looks like that level of fidelity.
Yeah.
And you talk on the parkour, like I was swapping back and forth between first and third person often on this game just because I think the third person camera still was substantial enough. And when you want to do parkour, sometimes you might just want to see your character do the parkour.
Yeah. I had forgotten actually. I knew at the beginning of the game because I think it has you switch, but then I had
Yeah.
forgotten for a significant portion of the game that you could switch back and forth. So, and then I was like, oh, it does make some of the parkour stuff easier.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, great
Like I
game.
wasn't ever necessarily doing combat in it, but parkour and shit for sure.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see. Well, Obsidian has like 15 different games going at all times. I mean, we've talked about
Totally.
two Obsidian games that came out this year, and they had Grounded 2 come out in early access this year. It's just
Yeah.
kind of crazy to think like how much stuff they are doing at any given time. So hopefully one of those things that they start, gearing up on is an Avowed 2 or something along those lines, because I would love to see what they do next with this.
I hope there's more. I mean, really, like you said, that ending was okay. I mean, the story itself was fine. Like, I think playing a god kind or whatever the hell they were called, really like this came out in fucking
God,
February or March. Like, it's been so
godlike,
long.
godlike.
Godlike, maybe.
Yeah,
I say it's come out so long and it's been number 5 on my list, but god damn.
yeah. No, this one, it kind of number six, like it and Dispatch were kind of going back and forth a little bit. It was a really good game, and um, a lot of people like have kind of said like, oh, it was nothing. Like I kind of bounced off of it, and I don't know how like people that played this like
Right.
bounce off of it, especially because if I remember right, there wasn't a lot coming out when it came out, but.
No.
I don't know. I know
If
we.
anything, I think Adam Fall came out like right around that same time.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's
So
not like people raced to that, but I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what kept people from playing this, and I think it might have just been the expectation that this is just another one of those. And as much as it is, it still beats out a lot of those.
yeah.
Like Outer Worlds 2, like I said, I would not want to just race back and play that. I would want to give this another go sometime with a different play style.
Nice. Johnny, did you play any of Out at all?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
That's a good one. All right. Well, moving right along. It's funny. I feel like we spent a lot more time at the bottom of our list, and now here in the middle of our list, we're kind of moving along at a quicker pace,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it might slow back down here a little bit. All right. My number four, I do not have to worry about it being on either of your guys' list, and it is a coming in hot. It is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So I started this
I'm
game when
surprised it's so high.
it was almost higher. Um,
Hmm.
it came out when it came out, I started it. I rented it from the library and I started it and I was like the beginning hours of it are pretty cool. Like you do this whole huge siege, like this castle siege and stuff like that. And Adam, that is like the last mission, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
Like it comes
That's
back and that's
interesting.
one of the last missions is like that castle siege. Um, but I played it and I was like, "Ooh, I really like this. This seems fun." But it was, pretty popular and like, infamous with like being snubbed for best RPG, things like that at the Game Awards. Like, there's a lot of people that think that this is the best thing since sliced bread. Um, but and that being said, like there was even on Xbox, there was a lot of people in line for it at the library. So I was like, I'm not going to start this and then have to give it back. So I kind of wrote it off as like, I'm not going to play it this year. Well, then Black Friday, there was a ridiculous sale on it and I got it for either 25 or $30. And this is a full $60 game. Um, so I got it and I started to play it and I immediately fell in love with it. But this is a game that if I would have played it in any other way, or if it would have just different time, or if I wouldn't have had the patience, I don't know, like a lot of different things could have happened where I could have bounced off of it. Like Adam, I know you played it, you bounced off of it. Um,
Yep.
it just really got its hooks into me because it is a medieval game, not a medieval fantasy game. It is a medieval and I wouldn't say it's like super, super realistic, but it's a medieval, somewhat realistic game based on like real
Yeah.
people. Like your character, Henry, is fictionalized, but almost everyone else in the story are actual people that were Bohemian kings and lords and stuff like that, what's now like the Czech Republic. And so it's just like really cool seeing this story unfold in a very almost like Skyrim way. I mean, it is kind of Skyrim where everything you do increases your skill in that. If you're riding a horse, then your horsemanship skill increases and you get different perks and things like that. The more you sneak around stealth, then your stealth can increase, but also your agility and also like everything you are doing is kind of progressing to a different way.
Sure.
The game is surprisingly funny. Like it has a lot of like kind of medieval style humor. The characters are, well, what's going on is pretty serious. A lot of them just have a lot of like lighthearted moments, things like that. And one of what was at the beginning of the game, one of the biggest drawbacks at the end of the game became one of its biggest strengths, which is like the combat and fighting and figuring those things out. But I do understand that this is a game that is not very inviting. Like Adam, you and I talked, and to like through the entire game, the part that you got to that you said, screw it, I'm not doing this, was the hardest part of the game for me, where
I love that.
it's you are super underleveled and there is a camp where there are five bandits. And in this game, even
Yeah.
towards the end, if you fight more than two people by yourself, it's going to be hard to do. But that doesn't happen that much beyond that one part. And I think because you're supposed to do stealth and things like that, but a lot of times it doesn't um, really signpost that. It's like you can figure out how to do things on your own. Just like Outer Worlds 2, there are ways that you can do speech skill checks to talk your way out of situations. One of the later things was you were trying to like infiltrate and steal a bunch of gold while one of your people is imitating like an Italian bishop, and you can the person that's imitating the bishop can like tell guards to go different places, so then when you go and play as your other person, like the guards aren't there, so you have an easier time. So it feels very real, like in again back to Skyrim, like all the townspeople in the different towns have schedules. They go to sleep at night, they go to work, they go to the pub, they do this. So, like, knowing where people are could mean that you can go in and you could steal things from them, or you can interact with them in
Yeah.
different ways, things like that. So, it was a game that just really sucked me in the month of December, and I loved every minute of it. I really thought I was going to come in and say, like, I knew it was going to be on my list. I just didn't think I was going to finish it. Like, I surprised
Sure.
myself when I finished it and I hit credits. I was like, oh, damn. Like, I finished this and I can feel like really confident with where it is. Part of me wants to go back and play Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 because I loved the second one so much, but I know that a lot of people say, like, Kingdom, like, just like another second game in a series that we will talk about here in a little bit, the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 did a lot to smooth the edges out and make it a
Sure.
more playable game, which is kind of weird to think because, Adam, as you know, it is not a very inviting game in a lot of ways.
No, no.
So I think it was great. I do like not that I agree with because it was kind of incelly. It kind of reminded me of like Black Myth Wukong Game Awards stuff. But I do understand like from a pure like role playing game, like you can inhabit a specific role. I can understand why people are like, oh, that should have won over Claire Obscure, but that's not the way that Game Awards work. It
Sure.
is, if it is best RPG, it's not because this is the best RPG mechanics. It's just because this is the best game that is considered an RPG. Does this have better RPG mechanics than Clair Obscur Expedition 33? In a lot of ways, hell yes, because you are playing a role. You can be a sword fighter, you can be a smooth talker. Hell, you can be a drunk ass. Like there is literally a drunk skill where the more you drink, Johnny's like, hell yeah, the more you drink, the more perks and things like that you can unlock, but then you can literally become an alcoholic to where you can't, like, there's negative effects if you don't drink. Um,
Wow.
so it's just a really, really cool game. And Adam, I think in if there's like a lull this year, I might just have to like ship you the game so that you can give it another shot.
Or
Because I do think if you could get into it, I think Adam, you would really, really like it. Johnny, I think you would like it too. But again, like
Hmm.
maybe this will be like a game that comes out on Game Pass or something like that. It's
Yeah.
just it is a lot, and like you have to meet the game where it's at. It is not going to um hold anything back. Like I said, like that one bandit camp that is an example. If you just run in there and you're like, you're bandits, I'm going to kick your ass,
Hmm.
they're going to be like, the fuck you are. We're going to gang
Oh,
up
yeah.
on you and beat the shit out of you.
yeah,
Um, so great game.
Nice.
Really had to debate whether or not it was going to be higher.
damn,
Yeah. But again, recency bias kept it at the number four. I was like, I'm not going to move
sure,
this above this right here, which is funny because I looked a few years back in a very similar way. Marvel Midnight Suns in 2022, 2023 was my number four game of that year. And that came in hot right at the end, too. Very
yeah,
different games, but
yeah. I mean, this is probably going to be one of those that when I have time and I'm not limited by a fucking checkout from the library kind of thing. Like this would have been one of those games that if anybody rented from Blockbuster, they would have probably never taken it back. Johnny, what's your number four?
Number four, I got RoboCop Unfinished Business.
Hell yeah! All right,
So for context, why it's number four, um, Paul Verhoeven's RoboCop, starring Peter Weller, was the very first film that I watched in movie theaters. So it's 1987. I'm 3 years old, and my parents brought me to it. Not the only parents to make that mistake. Somehow it was marketed. Maybe like people thought it was like a movie you could bring your kids to, because back then
sure,
trailers were very like, not showing too much, and advertising was just like showing a robot. It's like, all right, it's a robot movie.
yeah.
How bad can it get?
And he's a
Well,
cop. It should be fine.
exactly. Fucking, I don't. They like. I had the fucking the name of the developers. It was. I don't want to get it wrong. Taeon. They've somehow gotten it fucking right with RoboCop. We've had other RoboCop games. They were really fucking bad. Maybe you have to go back to like the NES and Game Boy days where it's like, all right, side scrolling, decent. As a 3 year old kid going like, oh, I wish there was a video game I could play for this fucking character. And you got to fast forward to where I'm like 40 years old, and it's like, well, they fucking finally did it. Um,
Yep.
it just like it hits nostalgia at its core. Thank God that, Peter Weller's still with us. He can voice the character.
Right.
Uh, because like I think it would just not have like hit right if it was somebody else maybe trying to like convey that kind of voice and tone.
Yeah.
Um, it's a standalone expansion. It's not that very long. It's short, but it kind of like deepens the lore of that story. In my mind, it's kind of gotten to like where I'll like retcon two and three, and now this is the new lore of RoboCop. What happens after one?
Yeah.
Um, for this one, it's like they did like the Dread style. You're like in this like apartment buildings where it's very like you think it's going to be like very small space, but there's plenty of room, plenty of action, plenty of ways to like kind of like help yourself not get killed instantly. Because there are moments where it's like, well, shit, they have like a fucking, I don't know, a 50 cal machine gun. That's gonna fucking do some damage against me. Um, Tinkering a little bit, the like sort of like not hand to hand, but like using like melee and like not quick time events, but like hitting a action button to like smash people into certain objects like soda machines, walls, and whatnot.
Sure.
Much better versus like because you could tinker what you did from the original game. And I think just like it just helps like deepen the lore of like that world of like cyberpunkish corporation, super evil, but like with a smile at your face. Funny back then, but now it's like, oh shit, they were actually really doing it now. Not so funny as an adult. Um, so that's why I keep it at my number four, because it hits me like for being introduced to like that world and like that style of filmmaking and like and that way of action as well.
It's one that I want to play. It's one that
Hmm.
I'm also just desperately waiting for a discount on. Like I
Yeah.
bought the game itself on a pretty steep discount. So for something shorter, I'm going to hold out a little bit longer. But
Yeah,
I'm glad that it turned out to be good.
it's one of those ones where it's always usually on sale on Steam versus everyone else. I think it's like 40% off on Steam right now for the standalone,
Sure.
which I think makes it like 19 bucks or something like that.
Like I will be down for this. It's
Yeah.
another one that I hope they continue to make. If they don't continue to make RoboCops, I hope they continue to make like similar
Mm.
old heavy air quote movies,
Yeah, because they
like
did.
adaptations of.
Yeah, because they did it with Terminator, then they did it with like RoboCop, and there's somebody mentions on like a job listing, for them like involving animals and environments. I think someone mentioned some other like kind of 80s movie, but I'm hoping it's Predator, especially with, like
Yeah,
you're
that'd be
mentioning
good.
those two kind of things. It's like that would be kind of pretty cool to like kind of like see like what you can do with it.
Um,
Yep.
Predator would be something I would play.
Yeah.
RoboCop, I don't really have that much nostalgia for. I've seen
Hmm.
movies, but they weren't like my go-to like 80s movies. But
Sure. All right. Well, my number four
I
is
I
go
I bet I could guess it. But go ahead.
maybe
Go on.
Ghost of Yote.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I can guess it.
Well, yeah, it's really good. I will go back to this. This is kind of the similar thing where I've got very few trophies that I have left to get. The only thing that withheld me from getting them was, hey, this came out late in the year. I've got a lot of other things to play, but I will definitely go back and get those and scoop them up. Just what a hell of a game. Ghost of Tsushima was really good. Ghost of Yote blows it the fuck out of the water and
Mm.
might as well just like put that bitch into space because damn, this is an improvement in every way from character to tone to gameplay. Like, I think everything about this is so much better than Tsushima. And I've heard a lot of instances of people talking about the story and the way that they took it and how they went after one specific member of the OT6 first over another because I guess the game tries to kind of like put you in that position because the way that they're geographically located is they're closer. But the asshole that I am and the way that I play video games is I'm going to go to the farthest door away most of the time than the one that's closest and find out what's behind that door. And I think the way that I did that like significantly changed how I felt about the story in a way that I'm confused that they didn't want people to do it that way, really. Um, but yeah, like I just think everything about this game is fucking phenomenal. It looks great, it sounds great, it runs great. I mean, the fact that you have literally almost instantaneous fast travel is amazing. And it's something that
Hmm.
I think a lot of other games are going to have to try to find ways to replicate because damn, can you just go all around this map in a matter of minutes from place to place to place and never see the same environment twice if you don't want to. So that's cool as shit. Um, I don't know. Like I don't want to talk about Yote too much. It's just fuck what a thing that came
Hmm.
out this year.
Yeah. I really, I played Yote and I kind of bounced off of it. And I do think a big part of that reason is Assassin's Creed Shadows being so similar and me playing so much of Shadows.
Yeah,
And did I mention,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, Shadows will not be in my top three. Um, but I think that's part of it. But also, like, I didn't like. One of the big things is like in the combat, at least at the beginning, once you start getting different weapons, it almost felt like rock, paper, scissors. Like you have to use
sure.
this weapon on this enemy and this enemy. And I kept forgetting. And that was like a point of frustration in combat at the beginning when you're not as strong, not as powerful. And I just kept
Yeah.
getting wrecked because I kept forgetting like which different combats and stuff. And like you said, it was end of the year. And it was just
Hmm.
something like when I turned Ghost of Yotei on and I played it, I enjoyed it. But it was almost like it was like I had to pull myself and like sit down and be like, okay, I am playing Ghost of Yotei. And I felt like that was a game that like to play, you can't really play 30 minutes of Ghost of Yotei or 20 minutes. Like you need to
Really.
sit down
Yeah.
and play a couple hours. And
Hmm.
that could have been in a different world, in a world that I bounced off of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Ghost of Yotei would have been the game that I went back to over break. But
Sure.
I obviously didn't, and I will play Ghost of Yotei at some point. I'm sure that I'll love it, and I'm sure that there's a good chance that it'll be like a what if, like it should have been on my list. It's just something like eventually I was like, I'm not gonna fight this. I can come back to it later. There's no one gun to my head except for maybe Adam, if he was closer, would have maybe actually put a gun to my head and been like play Ghost Yote. But
Known gun lover, yes.
put a his fist to my head and been like play. Um, but I get it. It just I
Mhm.
bounced off of it, and I feel like that sentiment has been like I've heard a few other people share like similar sentiments. It's like really no fault to the game itself, a combination of like when it came out and it being. I
Mhm.
know it's a different game than Assassin's Creed Shadows, but like, do you think that there was somebody that like knew? Like early on, like either like there was somebody that worked for Ubisoft that was talking to someone at Sucker Punch and they were like, "Oh shit, we have the same premise," or because it's so crazy that like the premise of these two games is so damn similar in games that came out 6 months
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem for like Assassin's Creed is they've all had that big kill ring for
Hmm.
like the last
Mhm.
3 or 4 games, I think. And like as much as they tried to make a story out of that, and I didn't finish Shadows, right? Like I think Yote did it honestly, rather than just like, here's an evolution of our gameplay mechanics that we're now going to make a part of the story.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Hmm.
this would have been like part of like my top three, but another game that shall not be named currently right now, took its spot. And like you guys said, like there were just so many games like that flooded the market. And yeah, yeah, we had the Assassin's Creed. It was similar, but like for this game for Yote, it's like it was another level, both like visually, combat. I wish maybe they would have held off maybe like January, release in January
Sure.
instead? Like what's a couple of months come after the holidays? I don't know. Like
Right.
what was the I feel like maybe like they had to get it out there, but like you had like two similar games and not that long of a span of time apart from each other. Maybe it's just like it kind of like made it like go by the wayside because they got great reviews. People talked like
Oh, yeah.
ecstatically about it, but then it's like everything else, like it just goes by the wayside on to the next thing.
I think like the sad thing is really for me is like people that just stuck with Shadows got the great value brand of pineapple. Meanwhile, like if you played Yota, you'd have had the
Hmm.
Del Monte and you'd have been fine. But like I get that they're two alike, really, but god damn, what a
Yeah.
better feeling game.
Oh yeah.
I also I am in the minority. I absolutely I'm not going to say hate. So I really do not like the wind blowing stuff
Oh, okay.
on Ghost
Sure.
Yote. And I know I'm very much in the minority of like that's how you get from point is like the wind blowing. And it just kind of felt like it was almost like a little overwhelming to me. Like I didn't
Mm,
love that part of it. Like very gorgeous looking game, but it was like kind of like for me, I wish I could have like almost toned that down a little bit. And maybe there is a setting, but it just felt very like maybe I don't know, maybe it was on my monitor or what, but very strong. Anytime I
mm.
hit the button to have the wind blow me in the direction, it's like, holy shit, this is a lot.
Yeah. No, it does turn out to be that way because usually like your camera will turn with it. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
What a shit ass excuse to not finish this game. What's your number 3, you fucker?
Okay, I'm
Here we
interested to
go.
see reactions. My number three is Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Oh shit. We're like on the same page.
Johnny, you played it?
I played it, yeah.
Is it
I
wait,
want to
is it
keep
all
it.
is it our number three?
I want to zip. It's both of our number threes. I
It's
want
all
to keep
three
it
of our
Mine's number
number
zip.
3
threes.
too.
It's all three of our number
Holy
three.
shit.
That is awesome. So I'll go ahead and I guess
Mhm.
we can have a good talk on this. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is a very me game. It is a turn-based RPG. Well, on its surface level, it is a turn-based RPG with a really intense story, some craziness, um, really like makes you think. Um, but I think it's just kind of crazy how much it left us in our little niche turn-based RPG market. In that, yes, it's turn-based, but it is very much like you cannot just do your move and then just wait. You have to, at the very least, I never got good at parrying ever. I stuck with dodging. I was like, I'm not going to be good enough because the timing window on parrying would seem tighter than dodging. So I'm like, I'm not going to worry about the parrying other than like the jump group parry that you have to do. That seemed much more clearly stated with like the symbol. Um, so I got tried to get as good as possible at dodging, and I loved the combat. I think the negative on the combat was you are going to die to some random ass enemies sometimes
Yep.
while you learn their moves. But once you get their moves down, man, there's no RPG where grinding feels better because you get to know those enemies so damn well that you're like, oh, I am gonna like I don't care if I'm underleveled. You are not gonna touch me because I know exactly you're gonna hold the sword and you're gonna pump the fake 3 times. Then I'm gonna
Right.
dodge the shit out of that. So that was really fun. Just the whole premise, the gamage, the Expedition 33,
Mm.
the counting down stuff was incredible. The voice acting, everything like that. Was just great. The twists and turns. I mean, we're gonna go full spoilers here. Johnny, did you go get all the way through it?
Now I got close to Act Two. I'm
Uh,
near the end. I'm near the end of Act One, but you could spoil it.
I kind of want you to. What do you think, Adam? No spoils?
I could take my
Nope.
headphones off and just
Nope.
wave at me.
Nope.
No, no, we
Oh,
don't need
okay.
to.
All right. All right.
But so the end of Act One, we can spoil that where it's like Charlie, like
Mm,
there's a reason that Charlie Cox is like, I don't know why I was nominated. It's because he's only in a fucking third of the game. Killing off the main character was such a
mm,
bold choice, but it worked so damn well. To the very
oh,
end of the game,
mm,
I was convinced that he was going to come back. I was like, there's no way. There's
mm.
no way he's gone forever. He's going to come back. They're going
Okay.
to do something, everything like that. And it's like, sorry, spoiler, Johnny, he doesn't.
No,
He
well,
he did.
it's funny because like he's the least person I use when going through the game. Like I'll use
Mhm.
like the other characters instead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's another thing I didn't even touch on, like the
Mm,
combat, how every single character has their own unique style, like their
yes.
own unique mechanics and things like that. That's something, I haven't really seen before. And then the story, the twist, the turns, the ending. I won't say anything to spoil the ending, Johnny, but
Hmm.
the ending, I talked about how I think about Final Fantasy Avalice Chronicles. I think about the ending of Cleric's Obscure Expedition 33 a lot more than
Gotcha.
the ending of any video game this year. It is just an
Yeah.
incredible ending. Um, as far as like things that I don't like, I
Hmm.
honestly think me having it as number 3 is a testament to the 2 games that come above it
Hmm.
because I think it does so many things. Like this is gonna sound like stupid
Yeah.
and cliche. This reminds me of Final Fantasy X in so many ways. I'm not the
Yeah.
only person that
Yeah.
is
Yeah. You're not
that
the only
is
one.
though. And just the way that the story's set up and the reasoning and like, are the people like, what are we fighting for? Is it worth fighting for when
Hmm.
everything seems to be coming to an end? Like all of this stuff. So that brings me, but then it's like when people are like, oh my gosh, this is something we've never seen before. I'm like, we have seen it. We have seen it. So like the contrarian in me is like, go play Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
But that and it's just like the Johnny, when you get to the third act, it kind of
Yeah.
opens up and it's like one of those ones like you can go in the game right now. You can go finish the game. As soon as the third act starts,
Mm,
they put a marker on your
Yeah.
map and they're like, go finish the game. Me
mm,
being the gamer I am, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go finish the game. I need to see how this story ends. So I
mm,
did it and I thought it was incredible and so awesome. And then Adam, being the gamer he is, was slower than me and didn't finish the game and was like, hey, Elliot, you need to go play this side mission, at least this one. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. And then I went back and I went through and I played it and I was like, there are things on the side stories that should have been part of the main game. The
Absolutely.
pacing on part of this is like so weird that it's like there is a character that is so integral to the game that
mm.
when I beat the game, I was like, it's weird that I didn't get a resolution to this character. It's because it's an optional side thing. Like
Yep.
there are certain things
Mhm.
about this game where it's like, why did they do it that way? Like this game could have been so close to like a perfect game in my mind. That there's just a few things. I also like when I talk to you guys, I don't think it looks very good in a lot of ways. I think there's sometimes it looks very beautiful, very awesome. I think
Hmm.
sometimes it's like, why is there so much mud and shit on you?
Yeah.
Like in this random story that you're just like talking, like all of a sudden you have all this mud, you have all this shit, everything like that. Like that, some of those things, it's like I'm very excited to see what they do with Clair Obscure, whatever they call it, Expedition,
Right.
whatever.
Hmm.
Um, but man, what a hell of a game.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that was like one of my notes where it's like I have not played like an RB fully like into an RPG since like Final Fantasy X. And this is like kind of got me back into it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish the game because I'm already like so fucking invested and drawn in. Um, the thing that's like odd, like this is like you said, like the mud and all that shit. Um, the fact that your character looks like Robert Pattinson but doesn't sound like him completely
Right.
takes me out the whole fucking way. Where it's like maybe that's why I'm treating him the way that I am treating him. Where it's like you're the back burner, dude. You're like I'm just gonna use you only for battle. The
Yeah.
girls are gonna lead the way. Girls run the world kind of way. Um, I
Well, I mean, it's Mael's game. Like
yeah.
that's the thing is like you don't
Yeah.
realize you think it's Gustav's game, but it's
Mhm.
Mael's game, and that's pretty cool.
I think that's where like probably where it kind of leads you in like in the beginning, like where it's like, oh, it's this is his story. You're gonna go into it and like see what's gonna happen during this expedition. I do like the side shit. I immediately killed the mime because he pissed me the fuck off while
Oh
looking
yeah.
creepy and shit.
Did you
Uh,
did you kill the
yeah,
mime your first shot? Your
yeah,
first
yeah. I wanted to kill that person immediately.
uh
Like, oh, mime.
I
And I was
I
like,
died
ugh,
I died
the
like
worst
five
clown.
I died for 5 times on the first mime I saw and was like, I'm not messing with this. And then for the rest of the game, anytime I
Mhm.
saw a mime, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not messing with you, sir.
Now, something
Yeah.
about mimes like makes me like angry. I don't know what it is. It took me like 4 hours to really grasp the parry. I was just doing dodge, 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 and not really
Right.
like looking into like, all right, let me see how like these characters like behave, their attack patterns and all that stuff. It got to a point where it's like I think you're in floating waters, and if you go like all the way to the left, there's like these sheep things, and there's like this big fucking I think monster, I think with like pink on it, and it's like
Yeah.
so fucking super powerful where it's like all right, I've that's what actually practiced the parry so much on was that fucking character where I think I was fighting it for like almost 2.5 hours and I was like
Mhm.
I've only gotten half the bar off. I was like fuck
Yeah.
this fight,
So
let's just continue on with the game.
Johnny, when you fight and lose a battle, you had the
Mm,
option to just retry battle, right?
yeah.
See, when Adam and I were playing, that wasn't in there. They added that back in
Oh,
later.
okay.
And I think that would have been really beneficial for like
Mm,
banging your
Yes.
head against a boss because there's certain like not
yeah.
like the runbacks of a certain other game that I have a feeling we're going to talk about here in a little bit
Mm,
because of someone Hollow
I
Knight
don't know what
Silk
you mean.
Song. Not runbacks like that, but it's like just kind of
mm,
annoying runbacks where it was like, okay, I don't want to waste time on this
gotcha.
optional boss when I have to, spend another minute or so running back to the boss. So,
Okay. Yeah, because
yeah.
like I didn't know like what was like added in like post release. So I just assumed that maybe I was like, this is part of the game. I was like, all right, good. I can continue, get right back into the battle. And that's what like
Mhm.
it helped me like learn and hone pairing. Where it's like I'm not super great. It's like, all right, I'll probably get like maybe like 85 to 90% of it, depending on what the fuck you're gonna throw at me. Like things like where it's like, holy shit, a thunderbolt coming at me. I have like hard time like kind of going like, oh shit, when do I dodge that immediately? Like when should I like start hitting the button? But no, it's like it's like one of those games where it's like it's made like the way the gameplay is making it like super addictive for me. It's like all right, I want to continue fighting all these type of different type of enemies to see like what do they
Yep.
do? How do I beat them? Like let me level up a crazy amount. Like I would go to those like flag markers, hit rest just so they can like repopulate it again.
Reset.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, so I can like fight them again, level up some more. That's just the kind of like way like I play with these kind of games.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to grind in this game. I mean, everything that you guys said, right?
Hmm.
Like this is the RPG that turned me into an RPG player of the turn-based kind. And as much as like I enjoyed Persona 5, I've never finished Persona 5. And as much as maybe the others might interest me,
Hmm.
none of them really have, excuse me, the combat mechanics that this does. Like Paper Mario, sure. South Park, South Park Stick of Truth has a level of this, but not all the way. But ah,
Sea of Stars. Did you play Sea of Stars at all a couple of years
I
back?
did play part of Sea of Stars, yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that was also really good. But like, you guys have talked about the story, the characters in here. I think there's
Hmm.
parts of this game that are absolutely fucking hilarious, really, like in ways that are
That's
unexpected.
I will never join you again, but there'll be a lot of fighting. You're right, there will be a lot of fighting. I'll join you.
Yeah. I mean, the music, like I've played
Oh,
Minoko's theme on here, Minoko character that is so fucking weird
Which
and
I did not play.
cool.
I love Minoko as a character, as like a character in the story. I did not play with him. I did not use him
No.
once.
wow.
Yeah. He was my backup. I had Seal for a little bit. So Johnny, you've got some characters that you'll probably
Yeah.
still be meeting.
Hmm.
Um, what a cool ass thing. I think my only ding for this game is the same that anybody else would have for a lot of these JRPG likes, where so much of your content are only meant for the diehards.
Mm.
Like, right, there's gosh, one of
Simon.
Renoir's places. Yeah, like the Simon boss fight. Like there are parts of this game that a lot of us will never see because we're just not that invested in it. Feels weird to say that I'm not invested in a game that I really enjoyed, but I know that I don't want to take the time or possible like frustration to go through all that. But like that's video games, right? That's just going to be anybody. I mean, I know that I play video games a lot differently than other people, even people on this podcast. I play very differently from. But I just am so interested to see what this team does because we maybe know what a sequel could look like, but not really. I mean, we can make all the guesses we want based off of the things that were in the story and what was mentioned, but what the hell does that look like? But also, this
Mm.
is a game that came out of nowhere, has its own story, isn't like anything else. So I'm in this world. I want more.
Yeah.
Hmm. And it'll be interesting. I won't talk spoilers, but it will be interesting to see what this team, Sandfall, which this is their first game. I mean, that's been beaten to death. We don't need to talk too much about that, but like where they go from here. It was very cool
Mm.
that they were like, here's some additional stuff. Um, at the end of Game Awards, they're like, oh, by the way, we have additional stuff that's out now. And it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back because it sounds like it is like ultra hard or silly or
Right.
whatever, but that's cool. Like
Mm.
now what are you gonna do next? So
Yeah.
Johnny, I am so glad that you started this game. Like,
Yes.
I'm so like maybe we'll have to do by the next time we record, you'll probably have
Yeah.
finished it or got close. When you do, we'll have to do a little mini spoiler cast. That'll be fun because the ending is incredible. I think Adam and I might have done the same.
Hmm.
There, you get it, you get
Yeah.
choice at the ending, and
Okay.
Adam and I both went the same way, and it was just, damn, it's good.
Gotcha.
It's enough that you want to like YouTube the other ending.
Oh, immediately,
Mm.
like as the credits were rolling, I'm YouTube to
Yeah.
the other ending. Um, all right. So that was our number three. It's very exciting that it
Yeah.
all coalesced. Honestly, Adam, I thought it would be both you and I's number three, just based on how we've talked. Johnny, that was pretty awesome that it came in at number three. Um, my number two, I think, will be one of your guys' number twos. Maybe not. My
Mm.
number two is Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
I got it higher
Fire.
Oh, okay.
up.
Okay. Well, then I know Adam's number two. Yeah, we'll talk about it in just a little bit.
All right. So number two for me, which was Adam's honorable mention, Dispatch.
Okay.
Why it's number
I hate
two?
to tell you, I'm gonna run pee real quick.
Okay.
Why it's number two? My top two picks have like the same keywords. Comfort for Dispatch is the most comfortable and relaxing game that I wish was a TV show. It's like that's how much like I want more content. I want more of the story of the lore of all these characters, the background. Um, I've played a little bit of the Telltale games back in the day. I think it was like the what was it called? The Wolf was it the Wolf?
Wolf Among Us.
Yes, there you go. Wolf Among Us. I think that's one like that got me into them. I didn't play like the Walking Dead one because like I was like into the show and I was like, well, what can they do versus the show kind of things. Like I don't want too much. I never got a chance to play the Batman one, but for this one, it's like if you're used to those kind of games, this is just like a walk in the park for you. It's like it's slightly a little bit different because like feels like it's a little bit more heavier on the quick time events. But other than like the dispatching, where it's like you can actually freely move, sort of like a la like a mouse onto a keyboard. I like it because like the story of it, it's superhero based, but it's not Marvel-y. It's very more down to earth and grittier, similar to like The Boys, but without like the crazy zany, uh, you know, sex and drugs referencing. And it's like, yeah, it's relatable because like if you're either a superhero or supervillain, at the end of the day, what do you want to do? You want to go to a bar, chill out, and relax, and it's kind of like giving you like the day to day, like what these characters go through, how they live, relationships, and it's just like one of those things where it's like I played it, I replayed it, try to like change up a little bit. Didn't get too much difference between my first two gameplays, but the story is what really solidifies for me for the number two slot. It's just the fact that it's completely like you kind of like know the story, but like being it's on its own 2 feet, being able to breathe and being able to like get you to suck in, not suck in, getting you to like go in and kind of like live out that world and see what choices you make and what happens. And I love the fact that like it tells you like, you made this choice. X amount of players made a percentage of that choice as well. Or you did this choice. Not a lot of people did that choice. And it kind of like gets you like, oh, well, how else can I change for my next playthrough? How else can I like alter like what would be different? Like what would you give me the next time kind of thing? And also like somewhat like memorable characters where it's like you get like these great like people behind like the characters, the voices themselves, where you hear these people and like you know them from other like properties, movies, and TV shows, and it lends like not like credibility, but maybe like it solidifies like this world to hopefully maybe we will get more and we'll get like more content later on down the line, hopefully. Because people are just like waiting, like when is season two? Like, can we get it immediately? And I think the last thing was like they're starting it, like they're starting to write it, I
Hmm.
think. And so
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, just give me more. Like I want to like, continue playing in this world.
Yeah. It was my number five, so
Hmm.
very high on my list. And I agree with everything that you said. It is such a good story, but it like when they announced it
Hmm.
at the Game Awards last year, I was like, oh, another superhero show. It looks like it's going to
Yeah.
be like Invincible or The Boys, a little bit more
Yeah.
mature, and it is more mature, but it's also like it is like what if Invincible met The Office, like
Yes.
the fact that it's just like this like workplace comedy, um and it's somewhat heartfelt, but it's so funny, and it's
Hmm.
just like for example, very specifically, and it's a great timing for Adam to come back on right now, because I think the funniest scene in all of gaming, maybe ever, is the
Hmm.
bar scene that starts with Flambe singing "I'm a bitch,"
Yes.
and then when it devolves into the fighting, you have what's his name, the short guy, and he's
Chuck.
yeah, he's
Yes.
only punching dicks. That part was so funny. And then you have I'm horrible at the names. The one that's like the celebrity, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm blind." She's like, "I'm temporarily blind." She's like, "The
Yeah.
fuck you mean temporarily blind? You're blind forever." And just like all of this like humor that was just put in there and felt so natural, and not like it was just like trying for these gags.
Hmm.
I really liked the dispatch part. I mentioned on this
Oh yeah.
podcast, I did not like the hacking part. Honestly, if the hacking part was not in there, I think it would have been higher on my list. I actively despised the hacking minigame. I thought it was crappy. Um, but the actual dispatch, like I really wish
Mm.
that it would have been like, okay, the story's over, but you can still do dispatching. You can still go out and you can do like, because it wouldn't be. I mean, I don't. I'm not a game developer. I don't know, but it wouldn't be that hard. It doesn't seem like I don't even need to like continue leveling up. I just
Mm.
want give me these scenarios and trying to figure out which, superhero would be best for these scenarios. Some people say that they didn't like the randomness of the ball bouncing around. I
I
actually
like
really
that.
dug that. I
Yeah.
dug that, and you're like, oh, is it going to work? I have a 78% chance or whatever
Hmm.
of it bouncing around. Is it going to fit? And then it was very satisfying when it's like, oh, it's 100%. You don't even have to. And of course, that's an achievement or a trophy, which makes sense. Like, oh, your complete overlay. I played it. We already talked about this, but I think playing it episodically as the episodes came out was
Hmm.
such a good way to play this game because it was just enough time to like, okay, I'm going to play 2 hours of it and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to think about it. And I'm not just going to try to blaze all the way through it. And I felt like they were good stopping point chunks. I know you guys
Hmm.
waited until it was all out and then you could play at your own pace.
Yeah.
But I thought like, if you're going to do an episodic, this is the type of game to do it and do it this way. Treat it like a TV show, like that,
Hmm.
Adam Johnny had said like he kind of almost which like the reason that it wasn't on your top 10 is it felt like a TV show and having it like every weekly or things like that, I think was to its benefit. A lot of people played it afterwards. Obviously, it sold 1 million copies as it was releasing. It's now 3 million. And I have a feeling when it comes out on Switch, I don't know if it's just Switch 2 or Switch 1 and 2. I have a feeling that's going to
Both.
skyrocket again because I think
Oh, sure.
like it being on Switch and it should run fine on Switch.
Yeah.
I could see maybe some of the quick timey stuff, like maybe if you're playing on Switch One, do what Adam did and take the quick time off. Um,
Yeah.
but I could see it skyrocketing again. And it's like, yes, I want more in this world. I
Hmm.
have the deluxe edition. I need to go back and read those comics. I don't know if either of you did that
Same.
or bought
I gotta
them.
do that too.
Um, it is so much better than I thought it could be in what it presented. Like Adam, you missed it. We were talking
Sure.
like I really thought it was going to be another Invincible or The
Hmm.
Boys, and it just felt so much more like down to earth by making it almost a workplace comedy that
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued to see. I
Yeah.
know this studio is it's they might do a season two, or they say they're going to do a season two now, I guess, like, or they're hinting at it. But I know their other thing is something else, I think more fantasy and Critical Role. The people at Critical Role are going to play a much bigger part in this because from what it sounds like is it was like they were starting up this other thing with Critical Role. And then when they lost their funding, Critical Role came in and helped them get it to the finish line. And
Yeah.
damn, if that did not work out well for everyone involved.
Ooh.
Um, Great game. I think
Yeah.
it is I was talking to Adam and Lily actually when it was coming out, and
Hmm.
it is my favorite of these kind of games, the Telltale
Hmm.
style game. And yes, it is less gameplay than, I mean, any of them,
Hmm.
but what is the gameplay? Like, I really, like, I am still holding out hope that they'll be like, hey, you want to play a little bit more of the Dispatch? We're going to offer that for you. Like, they haven't
Sure.
hinted at it at all, but like, come on, it wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
Just let me play a few more shifts. That's all I want.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like an extra thing where, like, after you beat the game, they're like, "Oh, just do
Yeah.
dispatch only," kind of thing,
Yeah.
part of the
Yeah.
game. Like I was gonna say, like going back to what you said, Elliot, like the hacking part was like my favorite part.
Oh,
I'm
really?
I'm the opposite of you. Like, what that was my really favorite part. Kind of like because it's kind of like a bizarre take of like kind of like Pac-Man, where
Mhm.
Yeah.
especially when you're starting being chased, so it's like, oh, I gotta like figure a route to like not get hit up like by these antivirus things.
See,
Yeah.
I failed one of the hackings. The hacking where
Oh.
you have to at the end when everything's
Mm.
chaotic and you have to pinpoint I kept sonar on the team. You had to pinpoint
Yeah.
where sonar is by hacking. I
Mm.
didn't pinpoint where sonar was, and then he just wasn't available. Like I didn't get
Oh.
him.
Gotcha.
And then I figured out like,
Yeah.
oh, and then Incrediman, what is it? I'm so bad at these
I
names.
think
Fuck.
it is a Incrediman.
Incrediman.
No fucking
Amazeman?
God.
Phenomenon.
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 There you go.
Phenomenal
It's
man.
like one of those
Um,
words.
Amaze man was pretty great.
Amaze man.
Amazeman. There you go. There's characters for season two.
Buy your Gamer Zaddies Amaze man shirt.
Figured it out by
I'll
then.
make it.
Oh, another thing someone pointed out that I saw on good old
Hmm.
Twitter is like when you are doing the tutorial, it has a whole roster of superheroes
Yeah.
that you never hear about again because they're too good.
Yeah.
They're not this shitty Z team. And
Hmm.
that's like that's
Right.
so cool that like this world can be built out. But like again, like
Well,
I
like
don't
that full board, like their
yeah.
scoreboard is
Yeah.
just full of names.
Yeah. So I think like there's infinite ways that they can build it out, but I hope they don't like that's why I'm like take your time on season 2 if you need
Hmm.
to, because don't rush it. We want something good rather than that just feels rushed to meet demand.
Because that could have been like another sub game, like the board. Like get your people a little bit higher up on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live service game where you're getting your team
Hmm.
higher. There you go.
There you go. There we go.
Um,
Season two.
all right.
Well, I
Uh,
know I came in late.
Yes.
I know you guys really said everything that you needed to say, and I said everything I needed to say. I still just want to stand by Dispatch is so fucking cool. And I am so glad
Yep.
that it came out this year. I don't know if I want to wait another like two though. I mean, I can't do
I
that. But
know.
all right, well, my number two. I don't know. I guess I should just let Elliot say it at
you
this
know me.
point.
You know me too.
But yeah, you go ahead and say my number two for
Adam's
me.
number two is Hollow Knight Silk Song.
There we
It
go.
sure the fuck is. It sure the fuck is. I did not plan for 2025 to be the year of Hollow Knight for me. I did not plan to be a Hollow Knight fucking fan at all. And then when it was announced that Silk Song would be out this year, what a fucking thing to happen. I mean, I would have not thought, nor would I have anticipated, right? Like I was not tracking Silk Song after I finished. I was like, okay, well, that's coming sometime. That's fine. But no, within 6 months of me completing the first Hollow Knight, it came out. It's so cool. Like it is such a special thing. I I don't know how to put into words my feeling for Silk Song because it is incredible. Like it is a stellar video game. In many ways, it is a perfect video game. It is such a good flip of your expectations from the first Hollow Knight. Like even that, like I know it's been said a lot, that downward attack being even at an angle is such a shift alone that it changes the way that you play a game that you might have played for the last 7 fucking years. It's incredible. Like the fact that Silk Song actually has what seems to be a more comprehensive story over Hollow Knight, I think, is something that should be recognized. Your character is no longer a silent protagonist and actually stands up for herself and has points and opinions and views on things. It sounds great. It looks great. It feels great. I have not finished Act Three. I'm kind of terrified of Act Three, but Act Two is where the credits are, so I can say that I finished it. So, um, but it's good. God damn, I wish more people would play this. And if you have, great. I'm sure you feel the way that I do. If you haven't, you have not had your eyes opened yet to what Silk Song is.
Um, so like I said, I have ranked all my games because I'm a nerd like that. Hollow
Hmm.
Knight Silk Song, even with the only about 10 hours I played, came in at number 15.
Hell yeah.
Um, and I absolutely love like if you have listener, if you've been following along, you know that I was kind of a being a little bit of a troll when it came to Silk Song, that I was going to jump right into Silk Song after never playing the first Hollow Knight, and that's exactly what I did. So I was
Yep.
trolling, but I followed it up and I played it. And I really, really liked it. I think my big thing is I was trying to compare it so much like a Souls-like when there are Souls-like aspects, but that's
Sure.
not what Hollow Knight Silk Song or Hollow Knight in general is. I still haven't played the first one, where it's like, the rosary beads, that's your main um, currency. And it's like, it was so hard, like, not even every enemy. And I still think it's kind of weird that not every enemy has them. And it is kind of harder to get and things like that. And it's like, there
Yeah.
were those friction points, but, I told myself that I was going to at least see through Act One. Well, other
Hmm.
things got in the way, time got in the way. I do want to go through and at least be Act One. I think I'm relatively close. Um, it is a really fun game. The way that some people talk about it kind of scares me, especially Act Three. I know I will never play Act Three. the way that it is described as everything just being so difficult and purposely, like that's not the kind of gamer I am. There's another game that came out
Yeah.
this year, Adam. I know you played a little bit. That's Baby Steps, where it's like the point
Right.
of the game is to be difficult. Um, Even difficult games, Elden Ring, Liza P, things like that, like those kind of games, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, where the difficulty, like I love those games in spite of the difficulty, not because the difficulty. I have had those
Right.
feelings of like I beat the boss and that feels fantastic. But for me, the negatives can outweigh the positives to where like even though Hollow Knight Silk Song is that fucking good that I enjoyed it even beyond that. It is a beautiful game. I think it should have won art direction over Clair Obscur.
Absolutely.
Like,
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
that is like even, the game, my number two, maybe your guy, I guess you guys said that it was your number one. Death Stranding 2 is an absolutely gorgeous game and can look so photorealistic. I think with what Hollow Knight Silk Song is doing, it's just like almost like better in some ways because of everything being so living and the environments. It looks like
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, this is the background. But then you start to realize like things are going on in the background or can move in the
Mm.
background and do things in the background.
Yep.
Like there's a reason that these basically two, maybe is, I think it's like two people with maybe a third one helping. These people took so long to go from Hollow Knight to Silk Song because they took their time and they made an incredible game. I think the
Yeah.
worst thing that Silk Song did, and this is like stupid little soapboxy thing, I think the worst thing that Silk Song did was made such an incredible game with so much content for $20. Because I think that there are four other indie developers, four other things like they are not going to be able to. There's going to be the type of person that's going to be like, well, look at what Hollow Knight Silksong gave me for $20. Why are you charging 25 or 30
Yeah.
when Hollow
Mm.
Knight Silksong is better and cheaper? And it's like, that's like, it's almost like the reverse. Grand Theft Auto is going to charge $100 because it can. Hollow Knight
Mm.
Silksong
Right.
charged $20 because it could, because they didn't need the money, but that
Yeah.
kind of almost reset the market in an unfair way. And we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, most people realize like Hollow Knight Silk Song was such a singularity in so many ways that they shouldn't. But there's going to be jerks. They're going to be like, this game should
Oh
be
yeah.
$20. Anytime an indie game is above $20, they're going to be pissed that it's not $20. So,
Right. I mean, this is like less than 10 people from Australia that made this game. Right.
mhm,
They don't they don't care. I
yeah.
mean, they sold the first Hollow Knight, I think, for 20 or 30 at the same time that went on to sell millions. Like
Mhm.
this is lightning in a bottle, really. And I did pay 20 for baby steps, or I paid 15 for baby steps, and that was still much more money than I should have paid for baby steps. But I don't know, like to have this level of production, right? Like you talked about the backgrounds. There are splash effects on splash effects in this game that look better than any splash effect I've seen in any other game. And I don't know if that's because like the 2D hand drawn element, but there is so much love in this game that you can see why they don't want to charge for it because they did this, they made this from the core of everything they've got and then just said, here you go. You can gift this to your nephew at no cost, basically,
Mhm.
close to no cost.
Or if they have Game Pass,
Meanwhile,
it's on Game
yeah,
Pass. That's where I played
right.
it.
And like if you've got somebody that just got a Switch 2 or something like that, like
Yep.
here you go. Have a $20 entry thing. Like just this is kind of a game that you can give to your fucking like most evil of enemies and still feel like I didn't lose anything here.
And I don't know. I don't know if I did you finish Act 3, Adam? Are you still
Mm-mm. No, like I said, Act 3 still terrifies me. I am on a boss fight specifically that is one of the friendly characters that you meet throughout the story that with the transformation that 3 has changes them a little bit
Oh, is
and
she
they
is she the
are
one? Is
fucking
she the
terrifying.
one? She the one you fight in Act One?
No, no, this is actually somebody that you meet in Act 2. Helps you a lot, like will actually pop up in random places and fight enemies with you, and then they have a little bit of a transformation. But I mean, like Act 3 had that Metroid thing that I talked about, right? Like that weird, wild ass platforming section. And it's not all that, but I do know that bosses are harder. I have fought harder bosses. I am stuck on a harder boss, but I don't necessarily know if the new bosses that aren't side bosses for Act 3 are as challenging, right? Because like the boss that I'm on right now isn't necessarily an objective boss. It's just a side boss. So I don't know if they're all like that. I guess I'll find out eventually, but I don't fuck, man. This game is so goddamn impressive.
Hmm. Johnny, did you start Silksong at all?
No, I didn't get a chance to. After Expedition 33, that's going to be my next one.
Yeah.
Is a combination of that and Hell is Us.
Yeah, I wish that it had I don't it doesn't
Mhm.
really have a reason to have cross progression, but I wish it did have cross progression because if I could take my
Sure.
progress where I'm
Mhm.
at on Xbox and move it to Switch 2, I would do that, and I think I would have probably because I played 10 hours. I didn't play nothing of Silksong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um because I think
You
that
don't want the
like
ROG Ally Series X to be able to go back and forth on?
I do not want to have to spend $1,000 on that. Um, because I think like I do think that there would be times that I would need to dock it like for specific hard bosses because it is like, just a
Yeah,
little bit easier to play or, just I never really did like the kickstand with the controller, but do something like that just to have the controller. But
sure.
I don't know.
Yep.
You know what? I'm not going to guarantee I'll go back to it because I guaranteed I'd go back to it by the end of by game of the year and look where we're at. But I really do think, especially with the next month or so being a little bit quieter, it's not like I picked it's not like I just started a game yesterday that has 100 different endings or anything like that. But I would love to go back because I think, it's only gonna like my opinion of it will only improve. And again, like if I play and I really lock in, Act 2 ending is going to be my ending. I'm not gonna try to go into
Sure.
Act 3. So,
Yeah.
yep. All right.
Yeah, I'd say just finish Act 1 like you said that you might do and go from there.
Yeah.
All right.
All
What's
right.
your number one?
Well, I said you're number two. Do you want to say my number one?
I don't want to say your number one.
My number one is a little game called Hades 2. So I definitely, let the cat out of the bag when I was initially talking on Hades 2. And I said, not only is Hades 2 my game of the year, it is one of my favorite games of all time. Hades 1 back in 2020 was my number one with a bullet. I absolutely loved Hades 1. I loved everything that it did, the combat, the roguelike elements of it, the progression, the Greek mythology. And for me, Hades 2 is that, but better in almost every single way. There's more
Sure.
options in the combat, there's more variety in what your weapons do. There's more variety instead of just going through a not linear path, but going through a path where you do the same set amount of bosses to get to fight Hades. Spoiler, you fight Hades at the end of Hades. This one you can go, you're at your Melinoe, who is Zagreus from the first game's little sister. You're in the crossroads. So you're like literally in between the underworld and the surface. So you can go down to the underworld and fight through there. And then eventually you can fight up through the surface, which completely changes the way that it's set up. Instead of just there's two doors to go through, there might be a lot of different options. At one point, you go into a city and it's like, hey, you need to light five pyres, five flames. Well, there's 12 different doors here. Choose which five you want. Choose which boons you want for those five. Once you're done with those five, it's done. You have to move on. So there's like that strategy. So like there's new things that add to this game that just make it feel even better. The combat feels better. Shit, my favorite weapon is called, it's like these torches. I'm blinking on the names of them, but it's literally if you get it right, if you get the right aspects and everything like that and the right boons, then it becomes almost a Vampire Survivors type game where you can just hold down the attack button. So you're auto attacking and you're just moving around the level to try to avoid getting attacked. And that's so fucking
Oh
fun
yeah.
to play that way. But then there's another spoiler, the last fucking weapon you get is like an Iron Man suit. It's literally like a mini mech suit where you have like boosters and rockets and you're going around the whole level and it just changes things completely. Um,
Nice.
and it's just like I think the thing that people don't like about this game, there's a couple things. One is people played it in early access and then like kind of like I think kind of got tired of Hades 2 because it was so good. Like the
Sure.
gameplay is so good. They played the early access so much, and by the time the whole game came out, they almost got tired of it or didn't finish it. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that I waited. And Adam, thank you. Because I think if you wouldn't have been like, hey, wait, like you literally said, like, hey, wait, don't play it, then I
Yeah.
would have played it in early access. It is like, and then the end and the story has some issues, and they actually went back in and they changed the ending based on player feedback, which I don't know if I love because I was fine with the ending. Like, I think the ending does some things that are like, yeah, but it's like the story is good and it is part of the reason that I'm playing, but like, it's not the end all be all. And some people were so upset about that that they're like, oh, it's a crap game because the ending. And it's like, well, that doesn't take away the gameplay. It doesn't take away how
Yeah.
good it is. It's almost like in a similar way to Split Fiction. Split Fiction story, not great. Gameplay, fantastic.
Yep.
Um, and it is just something like I love the roguelike element of it that not only can you just, okay, I'm going to do a run and that's going to take 20, 30 minutes. You have certain parts throughout each run that you can stop. And like, so I can be like, oh, I have 10 minutes until my wife gets home with my daughter. I'm going to play a couple of layers of this and then I'll come
Sure.
back to it later. Like, I played the shit out of it. I blew past the true ending and I'm actually really close to the epilogue, which is like, which you have to do a whole bunch of crazy things. I think I'm something at like 60 or 65 hours in, and I will continue playing it. Like I said, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Currently, it is like my number, and again, this nerdy like list, this is how I am. It's my number 9 favorite game of all time. So it is something that, if this game didn't come out this year, like I said when Death Stranding 2 on the beach came out, I was like, there's no way anything's going to beat this for game of the year. I actually, at that point, I didn't think Hades 2 was going to make a 2025 release. I thought Hades 2 was going to be early 2026. And then it came out of nowhere and literally beginning of September, they're like, hey, it's coming out at the end of September. Um, I think it's kind of crazy that it's only on PC and Switch 2 right now. Like, Adam, I said, like, at this point, like, definitely, oh, well, at this point, yeah, you haven't played it, but like, wait for if you get a Steam machine or a Switch 2 or anything like that. But because I do think I could see it struggling on the Switch 1 because there's so much shit that can go on the screen. Um, but yeah, it is like a game. Like Johnny, you kind of talked about that, like a game that
Mhm.
you can just sink into, and it's like I could spend. It's almost the opposite of, again, I'm coming back to like different things. Ghost of Yote, I felt like I had to like set aside hours to play it. Hades 2, I could, or I could play the one run. Um, and
Guy's just shitting on games that are on other people's lists here.
I know,
Just to
right?
build himself up.
Well, I'm gonna shit on a game. No, not shit on a game. Compare it to like Blueprints. Every time I did a run, because to beat the game, you have to beat the upper, going up to the surface multiple times and going down to the depths multiple times. While you're doing that, you can check off different like sub goals and things like that that progress other people's stories and like really fleshes out the world. And
Yeah.
you can continue to do that even after you've beat the game to where it's like, and then you can do things to make it harder and to where it gets to this insane difficulty. And then shit, you can even get to like, hey, these bosses, what if we just mix it up completely? And the second boss in the upper world is joined by the third boss of the underworld, and you're going to fight both of them at once. Like it can do
Right.
like this chaos of almost not infinite, but so much replayability that I am bummed that a lot of people were like, well, this is just more Hades 1. One, I think that
Sure.
it did a lot. It was iterative in a way, but it did so much that I think it's like it is Hades 1, but like most sequels are in some ways more of the first one.
Yeah. That's how sequels work.
That's how sequels work. Um, and it clicked with me so much that it's an incredible game. And Johnny, you own it.
Mhm.
Just play it.
Yeah.
Adam, once you have a way to play it, I know Adam, you've been playing Hades, like the original Hades,
Yeah.
literally like the last couple days. So I know like it's not like you don't like this style of game. It's just I do think that you should play it in the best way possible,
Yeah. I mean, shit, I was playing Hades 40 minutes before we started recording this podcast.
which is now like
So,
10 hours ago because that's how
yeah,
long
pretty
this
much.
podcast
Right.
has been.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
spoilers for anybody that keeps up with our normal format. What I've been playing is Shadows of the Tomb Raider and Hades. And I don't know why here in the year of our Lord 2026 that I've decided to go back to a game that I own on the Switch and replay it on Game Pass. But
Uh,
I've cleared a run in less than 20 attempts now on Game Pass. And I am fucking okay with that. So for you to say that this is more like in the same way that Silk Song came out this year, it's not that Silk Song blew up what Hollow Knight was and reinvented the fucking wheel. It's more of that with little iterations. And
mhm.
those iterations are the impactful parts. So I like based off what you've said for Hades 2, it sounds like those iterations are still pretty impactful to be what would a sequel require. And this game's what, like $30? So I don't know why people would be getting up in fucking arms about it just being more Hades.
Maybe it might be 40. No, oh shit, no, it's 30. Right now it's on sale on Steam for 22.95.
Yep.
Yeah, like
22.49.
people buy Call of Duties every year and
Hmm.
complain that it's just a sequel that doesn't change much, but they still go back and buy the same thing the next year. So to have this 5, 6 years off from what Hades launched at, like get over it. I mean, if you got a glorified expansion pack being sold as a sequel, you're still better off than what most sequels these days are offering.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like to
So,
me, Shadows, for instance, Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't that much different from fucking Valhalla, aside from having two characters. But I don't know, like everything that you've said and you and I've been talking, like I am looking forward to giving Hades 2 a go.
all right, that's me on my Hades 2 soapbox. I think anyone that has a Switch 2 or PC should play it.
Yes.
All right,
Johnny.
I wonder what your guys' game of the year is.
Yeah, Johnny, what's our number
It's
one?
our collective Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
Yes.
It's to say like
Yes.
what when I was gonna say when you left Adam and I was telling Elliot my top two picks are games that have comfort. And for this one, what didn't work in the first game or what made it like hinder the game itself was retooled, expanded upon, and fixed in this one, where you could traverse this game in any possible way you want, but
Absolutely.
vehicles have gotten way better to traverse, help you with like your loadout, help you with like hauling major amount of shit to wherever you're going.
Yep.
It gave me like versus the first one, it gave me the confidence there. It's like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna go everywhere and anywhere. It to a point where it's like I'm raiding meal camps, and yes, I would put in air quotes accidentally because I did accidentally kill them, and then going through like the second game where it's like, well, now I'm gonna see how I'm gonna like send these people to a crematorium now, where it's like it feels like it's any place really. It's not really one central location where it's like, all right, go to this distribution center, get the bodies there immediately. Here's the fucking warning. Um, it's the most Metal Gear ass game without having that in the title. The fact that you're floating on, what you're riding on through the tar is like a fucking basically is Rex. It's like the head of Rex with a railgun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that like Troy Baker didn't get nominated for Higgs' character in the second one versus Indiana Jones, I feel like was a blunder. Like you missed out. And they were talking about like,
Yeah.
motion capture and conveying to that. Well, he did a shit ton of that into this game as well, where it's like
Right.
this fucking character was way more memorable, way more menacing. The fact because he's the enemy, and it just wanted me to see him more of him in the game. It's like, well, shit. I was at a point where it's like I was thinking like, is he gonna like literally pop up on his own and have like sort of like end game cutscene talk with you? How he's gonna like
Right.
fuck your shit up and like destroy your thing or take somebody or whatnot. It's the most craziest story you could think of. Everything's great. Shooting, uh, raiding, driving. Like I don't really have that much complaint about it. Other than like, obviously in the beginning when we start playing this game, yeah, some server hiccup where it's like, all right, you're kind of offline for a little bit, but that didn't like hurt me at all. it's just like figuring out like new things where it's like, well, shit, I can drown in this. Let me use my fucking odorect to like make sure I don't drown in tar or get swept up in water or whatnot. So like that's the same thing like you would see like in the first one, but like it's upgraded in this one where it's like you get more enjoyment out of this game where you can enjoy the environment, do the photo mode, take all crazy pictures and shit like that. Where this
Right.
game literally became Formula One for me, where it's like nothing but vehicles and cars, pictures for me on my end.
Like you mentioned Troy Baker, and I think all of
Mm,
the Indiana Jones nominations were just trying to undo what they had done last year since it came out so late. Like
yeah.
Indiana Jones came out in December, and all of the award ceremonies or nominations would have already taken place, or games of the year would have already taken place,
Mm,
which is bullshit. That's why we're doing this in fucking January, not goddamn December. But like that's where all that came from. Like it was already so late, so everything was done. Like, no, bitch,
mm,
I finished fucking Indiana Jones last year.
mm,
So I don't know what you guys were doing aside from talking about video games rather than just actually finishing and playing them. But there is no reason to me, I'm sorry, that Indiana Jones impression, that Harrison Ford impression, it's great. That's great.
mm.
That is nowhere near what he does with Higgs
Yeah.
at
Hmm.
all.
Yeah.
Like, look at Joel Miller, look at Booker DeWitt. This is Troy Baker just being an unhinged Troy Baker because Hideo Kojima allowed him to be and wrote that character that way.
Yeah.
And, like, it's so
Mm,
good. Elliot, you go because I'll continue to rant.
Yeah, I think it's just like, everything like Johnny had said, like things that didn't work or things that made the first game have friction just got kind of smoothed out in the second game. And it's so interesting. I want to know what was testing so positively or so easily that Kojima
Yeah,
said that he needed to make it a little bit more divisive. Because this game is about, for what it is what did they have it to where the boss fights aren't in fucking tar? That's like the only thing I could think of is like, oh, like you could improve, like every boss fight doesn't need to be in the goddamn tar. Um,
right.
but it's just like, it was so much fun. Like I spent so much time, like I five-starred all of Mexico, which is not something like we know, like the way that I play video games, I don't go back and do shit like that. But I was enjoying it
Right.
so much that I five-starred all of Mexico, and I thought about doing like the platinum, Adam, like you did. But then I like
mm,
started
Yeah.
to realize, like, oh shit, like Mexico seems to be much easier to five-star than a lot of the places in Australia. And it's like, this is going to be a lot of
Right.
time. I don't know. But like the story resonated with all three of us so much. And I know a
mm,
lot of people
Yeah.
say like the story is anywhere from complete bullshit to silliness to like, but there has been a few that like few people that I've listened to in podcasts and like, games media that have like been on our wavelength of like, no, like we know this is going to be crazy. We know there's going
mm,
to be some silliness, but we are going to buy into it. And man, if it is not so good all the way through. And it's like I said, like I beat the game before you guys. Then I was like, guys, you're going to get to a point where you're going to want to finish the game because it ramps up and it
Right.
gets so good. Then both of it's a little bit slower than me, but both of you did that because it gets so damn good.
mm,
And it's like I still go back and I listen to some of the music, whether it's Minus 61 by a Woodkid or BB's theme
mhm,
or anything like
Minus
that.
61.
Exactly. Um, but it is just like I think it is Hideo Kojima's best game.
mhm.
I think it is just so good and it's firing on all cylinders. I don't know if
Yeah.
there's going to be a Death Stranding 3. I think if there is a Death Stranding 3, Hideo Kojima might not be as involved. And it's like that,
Right.
he's going to be involved somewhat until they kick him out like they did with the Metal Gear franchise. He's going to be involved somewhat. But like I'm intrigued to see where this franchise goes. But if it ends with Death Stranding 2 and this is the last, this is all we get other than this anime that's coming out in this movie. So it's going to continue in other forms, but video game wise, if it ends here, I'm okay with that because it is such a good fucking game.
Mhm.
And like I said, if Hades 2 wouldn't have came out and just gripped me so much, this game was going to be my game of the year. I love it so much. Like I am fine. We can say with a bullet, this is Gamer Zaddies game of the year. Like it is
Yeah.
so damn good. It is something that like are the Death Stranding 2 director's cut. What are they even going to be able to refine? What are the, because
I don't
Death
know.
Stranding 1 director's cut I know came back. I didn't play director's cut. I played the original. But like what
Yeah.
are they going to come back and do? That's actually maybe I did play the director's cut. I played one of them.
Yeah.
What are they going to be able to even come back and do to refine to make it so much better? I don't know.
From what I remember for the director's, because that's the one that actually what I played originally. Um, that I forgot which type of glove it is, the one that allows you like to grapple things
Hmm.
from far. That's where they started implementing
Yeah.
the I think it's power glove.
Well, and the cannon, like the one that
Mm.
shoots you, that was from the director's cut, things
Yes.
like that. But it's like, but that's what I'm saying. Like there was a lot of quality of life improvements. What quality of life improvements are even needed for Death Stranding 2?
I mean, really thinking on it since we've
Mm.
started this conversation, I had not thought about it before, would have been adding the concessions that are in Australia to Mexico,
Mm.
like the rails,
Yeah.
anything like that, like anything that
Hmm.
just makes traversal and adding or moving things easier than they already are for
Hmm.
Mexico because it's a fucking small map. But you add rails, you add, I don't like anything that just makes
Maybe,
that somewhat more convenient.
maybe make Mexico a little bit bigger because Death Stranding
Hmm.
1 director's cut added that like facility where you could do like the cardboard
Yeah.
box, like Metal Gear Solid style. I don't know.
Yeah. Because
It'll
Well, and
probably, yeah. Go
Johnny
ahead.
mentioned it, and it was the reason that I did not want to do random robot
mm,
encounters because I was terrified. Like, would Higgs pop up? Like,
mm,
these are Higgs's robots.
yeah.
Am I about to go fight these robots and enter a boss fight that I don't want to? So, like, a lot of the times I just didn't fuck with it. I mean, I would ride and drive around it where possible all the time because I was afraid of like what consequence would be of joining this fight beyond damaging my cargo. I
Hmm.
don't know, like add an airplane, maybe two of them, couple of
Yeah.
towers in random places. That's how you do a director's cut, I guess. Um, I don't know. Like there's not really anything that this game needs
Hmm.
from
Yeah.
my perspective. Like I guess you go through maybe add some tools, but what do you add? You've got ladders, you've got zip lines. Like it's not like you can add an escalator and make the game
Mm.
better. Or it's not like you can just add in a different vehicle. Like you
May
add a helicopter, I guess, like air traversal, but
maybe
then again you have the rails.
maybe like a Jeep. Like they'll add a Jeep for
Yeah.
like for speed versus like the truck that you have.
You
Maybe a glider to attach to your backpack
you
when you're on
can
a high peak and
Hell
like
yeah.
you can
jump
drive the
off.
Magellan in BB Kaiju form.
Hell yeah. I'd be fine with that. The BB just puts it on her head. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like by all definition, like Elliot said, this is Hideo Kojima's best game
Yeah.
Yep.
in every way.
It's like I don't know
Like,
where you go from here. It's like this game is so top tier. Like where do you go? Like how do you elevate where this game is taking us already?
Hmm.
yeah, I mean that ending is so good and so open
Hmm.
because you see tomorrow in front of the plate gate. Which plate gate?
Hmm.
Like there are so many other places. You want to put me in Europe? I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You want to put me in fucking Japan? That's okay. China, Australia, and maybe not Antarctica. Like that doesn't sound cool.
No.
But like if you want to put me in any of these places, I'm fine with that. I mean, because the discovery of Death Stranding 1 was similar to what you had with like the first Horizon game where you're traversing the map and you're like, oh shit, I'm in this state. I'm in this place.
Hmm.
And as much as Death Stranding 2 didn't have that because we're not Australian, it's like still cool to just see spots on a map that
Hmm.
you can have a real world tie to in this very fucking highly fictitious new world.
Yeah.
Like I spent 120 plus hours in this fucking game. I love this fucking game. This is probably one of my favorite games of all fucking time at this point, and I would not have thought to ever say that after the first Death Stranding.
So, all right. Well, should we go ahead and recap our top tens?
Yeah,
I can start. So my game of the year, my top 10 games from 10 of 2025. Number 10, Blueprints. Number 9, Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles. Number 8, And Roger. Number 7, Liza P. Overture. 6, Avowed. 5, Dispatch. 4, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. 3, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, 2, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, and my game of the year for 2025 was Hades 2.
Here we go. Number 10, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Number 9, Arc Raiders. 8, Skate Story. 7, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. 6, Exit 8 Switch 2 Edition. 5, Mario Kart World Combo Switch 2. 4, RoboCop Unfinished Business. 3, Clear Obscure Expedition 33, which was my silent one because I didn't want to talk too much and keep it secret to you guys. Number 2, Dispatch. Number 1, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is my game of the year.
Mine are number 10. Hold, please. I fucked everything up. I touched a button. It blew up. I've never podcasted before. My number 10, as we talked about it like 4 hours ago, is Split Fiction. Number 9, Ball X. Number 8, Outer Worlds 2. Number 7, Atom Fall. Number 6, Hell Is Us. Number 5, Avowed. Number 4, Ghost of GOTY. Number 3, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Number 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song. Number 1, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach.
Cool. All right. That is. I know we have gone, I mean, this has been our longest episode, which makes sense. But real quick, do any of you have any? I have one game that I'm surprised was not on Adam's list. Do any of you have any surprise, like games you thought would be on someone's list that wasn't? I'll start, like,
Not
for
me.
example, mine, Adam. I really thought Shinobi Art of Vengeance was going to be on your list.
Number 13.
That would be it. Because I remember you had saying like you could see it potentially being very high on your list. So
Yeah.
that's why I said I'd forgotten about Ghost of Yotei and I was like, I know what your number 4 is. I thought
Yeah.
it was going to be Shinobi.
No, I mean I don't because we fucking guys, we play so many random fucking games
Yeah.
Yeah.
that it's hard at any moment because I had games on my list that I know I talk shit on this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I played enough that I considered didn't beat, but it played 29 games enough to rank them
Yeah.
this year. I think my total list was something like 45 or 46. There were some games that I just bounced off very quick. You guys will never guess what my least favorite game of the year was.
What?
Mind's Eye, baby.
I don't know what you mean. That's fantastic.
That was an
I
epic
was
game.
really close to being an asshole too and putting Oblivion somewhere on this podcast.
Mm.
That remaster did come out, but
Yeah, you could have.
couldn't
You
do it.
could have. I mean, Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles is pretty similar to that. I just hadn't played Final Fantasy Tactics. If I had played Final Fantasy Tactics, I don't think I would have put Ivalice Chronicles
Sure.
on the list.
I mean, Johnny's got
Mm.
Delta on his list, so
But I almost did Delta because I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3 is like, I have my favorite games of all time list. Metal Gear Solid 3 is like my fifth favorite game of all time. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say like there were certain games that like came on as the year progressed that took away from other games from like that was like in the back end, like Chronos. Like I love that game, but
yeah.
it just didn't make my list because other games took over. Like Expedition 33, I didn't give it a chance. Played it now,
but
it
there,
completely blew my mind, becoming
yeah,
in number 3 spot.
there wasn't
Yeah.
anything like that came out that was as good as Suicide Squad this year, though. So,
I think that
Johnny,
was last
what
year.
I know, I'm saying.
I think it was the lowest sale point. I think at one point it was like PlayStation for like $8 for like the
No, no.
deluxe edition. Was it
I got
cheaper?
the deluxe edition on Steam for like 450 and I
Leave
never
it to
played it.
Steam. That's why the Steam machine needs to come out so we can save money on games.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like Lost Records came out this year. It
Mhm.
was good. It's not list worthy, really, for me. So
Yeah. So.
all right, host man. Get us
All
the fuck
right.
out of here.
Well, this has been the longest ever episode of Gamer Zaddies, our
Mhm.
2025 game of the year. I hope you guys, I'm sure maybe some of our lists you agreed with, some of the lists you absolutely did not. And you know what? That's why it's our game of the year, not yours. If you want to email in it is gamerzaddies@hotmail.com. Email
Oh,
in. uh, GamerZaddies at HOTMAIL.com. We'd love to read them on air. Or doesn't have to be a list. You could just tell us what you liked in 2025, what you didn't, what you're looking forward to in 2026. Maybe next episode we can kind of do like a look ahead type thing.
Hmm.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
So Johnny, where can people find you?
They can find me on all social media platforms as Johnny Flores Jr. Yes, even on Twitter, you can find me on that. I think the other guy like went away or something. Other than on Xbox, it's Violent Roach. So if you Fortniters who are playing Xbox and I'm playing Xbox, it's Violent Roach. Other than that, it's Johnny Flores Jr. on every, even for and gaming as well.
And Adam.
You can find me at Mr. Crops, all the places. Mister or Mr. abbreviated to MR, all the places. Or if it's PSN, you're going to find that with two R's on Mr., not just one. And since Elliot decided to steal my spotlight earlier, I'd also like to recognize that this has been Gamer Zaddies for 8 months now.
Hmm.
And that is a shift that I think all of us can appreciate and love to continue to do and listen. So thank you, Johnny. Thank you and fuck you, Elliot. But thank you also, I guess, more, maybe.
Yeah.
Fucker.
And
Also, Sad Kids Record Society's Christmas episode is out. Go listen to it. It's not the same song that we had done for years. Thank fucking God.
no,
So if you want All I
it's
Want for Christmas Is You by
you don't want it.
My Chemical
It's not.
Romance,
They say it's good. It's not good. I love My Chemical Romance. That song is not good.
it's fine. It's fine. It's better than the last Christmas episode we had. We'll be back in April. Gamer Zaddies will be back much sooner, thank God.
That's what you think. And you can find me on most things at eholmes91. I was watching Enola Holmes, Millie Bobby Brown, and finishing up Stranger Things season 5. I'm sure we have thoughts. We definitely have
Oh,
thoughts on
Jesus.
Stranger Things season 5 that we will get to right now. Kidding. We will get to probably next
Get
time we
ready for
talk.
another hour.
But yeah, eholmes91 on most things, eholmes09, I believe, on Steam because I lost my login information and they wouldn't. It was a struggle to get eholmes91 back, so I just switched it there. Yeah, this has been another episode of Gamer Zaddies. Thanks for listening, and we would love to hear from some of you. Bye.
Holla, we them boys. Holla, we them boys. Holla, 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 we making noise. Holla,
Not the West Khalifa.
holla, holla, holla. Holla, we them boys.
I've heard this song.
Zaddies.
All right. We still recording?
Hello. If you can hear me, congratulations. Way to go. Way to go. You made it through. You spent all that time, and now you're done. You did it. That's quite an achievement. My gosh, you've lived to tell about it. Well, you are something. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with it, for not giving up. That is really something. Now you know what you should do? Turn the thing off, for heaven's sakes, and go outside. Breathe the air, take a walk, call a member of the opposite sex. You know what I'm talking about. You have a whole life out there. Get the stink blown off you. Just go, really.